So we have one of the first speakers coming up today. We have Charles Osuji, right? Can everybody clap it up, big? Can everybody, welcome Charles to the stage? Right? We got Charles Osuji, right? That's how we say it, Charles, right?
Yeah, you're Nigerian, but I say that right.
Man. So welcome.
Welcome everyone to the 9 to 5 CEO Conference. My name is Charles Osuji, which they also call me Odogu. So you might hear me with my Nigerian accent through and without as part of me, right? Part of me, my business, my culture, right? So we're here right now, and I'm gonna talk about right now how to legitimize your business. A lot of us grew up, right, let's say in schools where, the bus driver used to sell snacks in the school bus, right? That was the side hustle, right? He was a convenience store, he was a bus driver, he was also a security guard at the same time, right? But again, a lot of the businesses were not legitimate. I'm gonna give you guys an example. What if I came here today and said, hey, I'm Michael Jordan, right? I play for the Chicago Bulls, right? I got 6 championships. Would you believe me? No, right? But why is that? Why wouldn't you believe me?
You're not bald.
I'm not bald, right? Well, I got a little baldness, it coming. But it coming, I'm preparing myself. But what else? Like, why am I not Michael Jordan?
He doesn't have a Nigerian accent?
He doesn't have a Nigerian accent. I'm clearly not 6'6", right? 6'6", 6'7", right? I'm definitely not 205, right? Definitely not 205, 6'6". I'm light skinned, right? Like, I ain't dark skinned, right? So all these things you can tell, but I'm not Michael Jordan because of all those characteristics, correct?
Yeah.
Same thing when the lenders or anyone that sees if you're a real business, the IRS or whoever, sees when you are a business. You're not legitimate if you don't have these characteristics, right? Anyone can say, yeah, I should have a business. Oh, how is it run through? Oh, it's at my house. Yeah, it's at my house, and I just have it there. It's doing well, right? But you don't have an EIN number, right? You don't have articles of incorporation, right? You don't have so many other characteristics that show that you are actually a business. So that analogy I gave earlier about Michael Jordan is the same thing. Without those proper characteristics, people will know you're not a legitimate business, especially funders, which you're going to hear about later on how to get funding, okay? So I'm going to give you a few steps that's going to help you and help you really good to show that you are actually a legitimate business. Some of you guys may have it already, some of you guys may not. I'm going to throw a couple curveballs to you guys because a lot of things here you're probably not going to have, okay? The first step, articles of incorporation. That is just signifying that you are an actual business that is recognized by the state, right? Having your articles of incorporation. So how do you get your articles of incorporation? Well, the first step is to go to your state's Secretary of State's website. So for the state of Florida, it is sunbiz.org. You can typically Google Secretary of State for your state, wherever you are, and it will pop up. And then you can go in there and then start the process of becoming a legitimate business. So if you're from Florida on the Zoom or in here, you're gonna go on sunbiz.org, okay? When you're on sunbiz.org, you're gonna click on start an LLC, S Corp, C Corp, nonprofit, whatever you wanna start, you're gonna click on that button to start it. Then it's gonna ask you for some information. Now it's very key you put that most accurate information, because if you do not, to go and amend it, I believe it's like $25 to $30 to go back and amend it. So you want to make sure you put in the accurate information. It's going to ask you for your name, your address, right? You're going to ask you for your phone number. It's going to ask you for your email address. I think the most important thing on there is that email address, in my opinion. Because let's say they don't call you and tell you, hey, you got approved to come on the state of Florida and be a legitimate business. They don't call you. They don't fax you, right? They don't send you texts, right? How they communicate with you is through email. So it's very important you put the proper email. I'm not saying put the email that's kind of crazy too. I don't know, some of them have those spam emails that y'all be sending tallguy247@gmail.com, right? Whatever you have. You don't want to put that on there, right? You're a legitimate business. So you want to have a respectable email, and we'll get into that even later, okay? But that email has to be accurate because that's how they're going to communicate you and let you know, hey, the name you selected, right? Let's say I want to be Popeyes Biscuits and Soda, right? I got chicken shop, I want to eat Popeyes, biscuits, and soda. Well, they're gonna communicate with me through email saying, hey, well, there's another company named Popeyes, and it's too similar with names. So we need to be more distinct or change the name completely, right? And you're gonna go back in, change it, and then they're gonna go ahead and look at it again. The process for this takes about 14 days, maximum 14 days, but now they're saying maximum 21 days because of COVID, right? So because they run out of staff members, they're not in the office, the usual now, like COVID's become the usual for us now, right? But they're gonna go ahead and email you and say, hey, either it's not distinct enough or it's similar to a different company, or they're gonna email you and say, congratulations, the name is not taken, here's your document number. So you're now recognized by the state as a legitimate business, okay? But you're not done there yet. After you receive that, you're gonna go immediately, not tomorrow, not 2 days from now, not 3 days from now, not 4 days from now, because if you don't do it right away, you're gonna forget. Immediately go to the IRS website and go and get your EIN number. Your EIN number is your business social security number. It's how companies and the IRS identify you. When you submit your taxes with the IRS, that's the number you're gonna use. Not your personal social security number, right? You're gonna throw all type of red flags over there. You're gonna use the EIN number. Now the EIN number is fairly quick. It takes about 5 to 7 minutes to get. You just input the document number from your state, from the article of the corporation, and you put it on there, and then it'll give you the EIN number right away. Now once you get the EIN number, most people tend to, okay, I got it. Yes, I'm a LLC-preneur, like Phil likes to say, right? Or I'm an EIN number entrepreneur, and then they forget the EIN number. Now they're going back to the IRS calling them, hey, I forgot my EIN number. Can I give you my phone number to find it? Right? I want you to go ahead and screenshot it, or most people should download the document anyway. Not screenshot, but download the document, save it in a file. A lot of us have clouds now, right? We have clouds on our phone, iPhones, Androids. Save it to your cloud so you always have access to it, because you're probably going to forget it, right? You're probably going to forget it, so save it on there. Now you're ready to move on with your business. So that is step one, okay? Step one, go into your Secretary of State for your state. Now there is a fee for it. In the state of Florida, it's $130, right? $130. Other states might be $190, some might be $70, some might be $50, depending on what state you're in, they have different fees for it, okay? And here's the most important thing. Most states require you to pay that fee once a year, right? And it's coming up. I believe in March or February, where it's the February 28th, something like that, is the last day, right, to renew the Articles of Incorporation. So you want to make sure you save the date. Now don't put on February or March 1st that you want to go ahead and do that. You can do it in January, you can do it in December, right? Knock it out early so you're not worried about it. Now, if you miss that deadline of February 20th or March 1st, right, it is a $400 fine, plus whatever the price is for your state to keep their LLC or nonprofit or whatever you have going, right? So you do not want to be one of those people. And I got a lot of friends who have done that in the past, right? And what they go and do is say, shoot, I'm not paying $400 plus another fee, I'm gonna just go make another LLC, right? Which now you just put yourself back another year, right? So you do not want to do that. So that's very, 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 very important. So again, mark your calendars. You do have a deadline for that. Most states are around February 28th or March 1st. Okay, so that's very, very important. Now your next step to legitimizing your business, making like a real business, not like a grandma's house of pies, right? You want to make sure you go and get a business phone number, right? Business phone number. And you want to also get a business address. Why is this important? When you're trying to get funding to grow your business, lenders, or even grants, lenders are going to go ahead and look up those addresses and phone numbers and see what it's connected to. A lot of people don't believe me, but when I sat down with a lender, they did it right in front of me. Right, so when I first started, I had my church address as my business spot because that's where I was operating some days at. So I had it there, right? But when you pull it up, you see 4 other businesses operating with that same address. So I tell a lender, they say, that's kind of sketchy. He's not legitimate, right? So I have to go out and go get me a business address and a business phone number. Now, how can you get a business phone number? One good way of doing it is going to Ring Central, right? Phil put me on game with that some years ago. Ring Central, you get a 1-800 number or another business phone number that would be tied to your actual cell phone number, but it's a different number. You pay for it and it's separate, right? So now when they look up that phone number, it's not tied to like 18 other people, because some of y'all are changing your phone numbers every year, every day, every hour anyway, right? So you want to make sure you do that. That's very, very, very important. You know, go to Ring Central, invest in it, and go get you a business phone number. A lot of times, other companies like cell phone carriers would allow you to have a business phone line as well. So you guys should go to your provider. I did mine with T-Mobile. They allow me to set up a business phone number where when you call the caller ID shows up as my business name, right? And it's very little to add it to your account, but it's totally separate, okay? Totally separate. So that's another good way of solidifying that. Now let's go to business addresses. Oh my gosh. Most times, I'm telling you right now, a lot of y'all don't put your mama's house, right, as a business address. And they look at the Google Maps and see mom outside watering plants, right? Mom outside watering plants, right? And you're like, what is this? God, this is probably a trap house. We gotta be careful with this, right? But you gotta make sure that you have an appropriate address. Now, virtual addresses is the way to go with this. How do you get a virtual address? There's so many different companies that you can do it with. Personally, I have Regis, right? I have Regis. When Regis, you can set up your business address on there. It's a virtual address, right? And I have ability to use the location for whatever I got to use it for a certain amount of time, right? But it's just for my mail to go there and it's to show as a legitimate address. So when they look it up, well, it has a suite number on there and no other business is tied to it, right? So a virtual address, you want to make sure you go ahead and get a virtual address because again, lenders are going to look at that and see your mom in the front yard watering grass at your mom's house. You do not want to go ahead and use that. So it's very, 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 very important you do not do that. This is another way you can do this, okay? Now my next step after this, after you solidify getting a proper business phone number and a business address, right, you want to go ahead now and you want to make sure you go ahead and go get a business email address. Remember what I said earlier about tootall247@gmail.com? Some of y'all have even more ridiculous ones than that. Y'all gonna put it on there for lenders to see. Lenders will look at that, they're gonna laugh a little bit, and they're gonna say no. Right? They're gonna laugh a little bit, and they're gonna say no. You wanna make sure you look as legit as possible. If you're a nonprofit organization, right, which I'm gonna touch a little bit about that at the end, you wanna make sure when they're giving out grants, they look at that stuff. They look at, are you a legit nonprofit, right? Do you have the things you need in place for us to give you a grant, take you serious, so you can grow your nonprofit? So it's very, very important, guys, that you make sure you utilize these tasks. Now, business email address. You can go on Google. It's $12 a year for you to get a domain name, right? Go on Google and go get a domain name. It's about $12 a year. It don't cost you nothing, right? And instead of having tootall247@gmail.com, you're gonna have info, your name, whatever you want to have admissions at, let's say my business, keysaftercare.com or kingdomkeysmentoring.org, right? That's a professional email address. And they're going to take that serious. They saw that I took the time enough and I invested in myself enough to go ahead and attain those things. That's what lenders are looking for. They want to see how serious your businesses are. The average business, 70% of the businesses fail within the first year. First year. So lenders are very cautious of who they give their money to, right? And they look at all these factors. Your business email, your business address, your business phone number. Do you have an EIN number? Correct? They look at these things to see if you're a legitimate business. Now let's go back a little bit. Let's go look back at 2020, right? And early 2021, where you have all these things for lenders are giving out, right? All these beautiful money amounts that lenders are giving out. The PPP loan, right? Some of y'all don't like that, huh? PPP, because y'all like, I ain't touching that. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you didn't touch it, you're a fool, right? If you had your business established and you had everything I'm telling you right now that you should have had, they were gonna give you that money, right? Because you were a legitimate business. And it would have helped you even grow your business even more. The EIDL loans, right? In advance, the loan super simple to do. It's about 5-year maturity period. Even if you still owe on it, they're gonna mature that 5 years either way, and the interest rate is like 3%, which is nothing. A family member of mine was able to get it. He had $17,000 he got from it, and he started the following year. He was only supposed to pay $80 a month. That's a phone bill. To get $17,000, they only pay $80 a month, and in 5 years it matures. Right? They forgive it. They forgive it. I'm sure they just forgive it. Right? There's so many other grants that they're giving out. I think I was sending some of the ladies in the team. My wife has a business as well, and I'm sending her, hey, apply for this. They just dropped some funding for women businesses. That's a big one. There's a lot of funding for women-based businesses, especially women of color, right, based businesses. But if you were not established, you were doing it here on the side of your mama house, and you didn't have the EIN number, you lost out on the opportunity to grow your business and have a storefront, right? So you want to make sure you're as legit as possible when doing these things, okay? Another step for you guys that you can utilize is getting your DUNS number. Did any of you guys know what DUNS number is used for? Okay. Never heard DUNS number? Never heard DUNS number. Jesus Lord. I told you, sometime my accent will come out. Oh my gosh, okay. Exactly, boom. Has everything to do with your business credit. Is where you, first of all, you have to get a DUNS number to make sure your business credit is being reported there, right? It's a trade line. You go there, you put the proper information on the DUNS, in the DUNS number, right? Sorry, you put the proper information at DUNS. I believe it's DUNS.com or DUNS.org. I believe it's .com, right? That DMV. DMV.com. DMV.com, right? And you want to make sure you get this. Why? Because this is the first step for you attorney business credit. And again, you have to go in there and put your most accurate information in there. Why? Because when you get a Net 30 account, right, or Tier 1 or Tier 2 or Tier 3 business credit account, they're going to report there, and it has to have the matching information. Now, if the information is not matched, they will not report it there, right? At the beginning, I had one number off my suite number, and I missed like 2 or 3 reports that went there, right? And I'm like, gosh, but I caught it, and I went and adjusted it, right? And then now I have a bunch of different positive lines of credit, positive trade lines, okay? So it's very important when you're working with DUNS, you go in there and put the accurate information in, and then any Net 30 account, Tier 1, Tier 2, or Tier 3 accounts, business lines of credits, right, or any loans you get from a lender, it's going to show up on there. Every missed payment, every made payment will show up on there as well. And if you had a missed payment, you can go in there and dispute it as well, right? So it's very, very important for you to have this DUNS number. So it takes about in my opinion, 5 to 10 minutes to do. See, all these things are a short time to do. People are so scared to take that first step forward that they miss out. Oh, it's going to take too long. Oh, I don't have the time. These things take so little time to do. I did it for 2 businesses. For my nonprofit, I have a nonprofit team mentoring program, and I have a after-school tutoring program for K to 12 students. I did both of them at the same time. A lot of people call me a fool, but that was God ordained that, right? And I was able to do both at the same time for both. So if I'm able to do it for 2 businesses at the same time, you should be able to do all this for 1 business, all under 30 days. And it can be done, it can be done within 14 days. But it's all up to you. How bad do you want it, right? How bad do you want it? All right? Now, another quick step I'm going to give you is getting your NAICS number. You can go to NAICS.com, right? That number is really important because when a lot of lenders, especially for my nonprofit sector, right, or any business that's a nonprofit on here, any grant or any lender is going to ask you for your NAICS number. Why? It's how they categorize you, right? And how they categorize you nationwide. So that number for me will show I'm a child care facility, right, after school facility, right? Because that's what my number picks up as. So instead of having to figure out, hey, what is he? Is he after school? Is he a school? Is he a daycare? Right? What they're gonna do when they look at my number, they're gonna plug that into the NAICS website. Oh, okay, cool. He's a after school support agency. All right, perfect, we're good. So you want to make sure you go ahead and you have that. It's very, very important. Again, add it to your files, right? Have a set files in your cloud on your iPhone. Have a set file on the cloud in your Android, wherever you have it. So you always have it. Because you may run into somebody that says, hey, I got some money for you. Do you have this, this, and this? I got it, yes, with me. And wifey, wifey's here today. She know I got that all on my phone. I work from my phone and my laptop, but primarily my phone. Because I save everything in the cloud. So no matter who I meet, who I run to at networking events. Because when you're at a networking event, you're not going to pull out your laptop. Yeah, I got it right here, dog. Let me go ahead and put it up for you. You got an outlet? Man, it's dying right now. I need an outlet to give it to you, right? So you want to make sure you have all these things close to you, and the best way is a cell phone. We came a long way from having flip phones, right, where we have minutes, and you could have called me before 9 o'clock, right? Yeah, singular. Anyone? I'm like 30, so some of y'all, if y'all 30 or older, y'all know about singular days where you had to call after 9. They don't call me. My mom said she's going to kill me if I get any more minutes taken back, right? So guys, it's very, 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 very important that you have these documents with you. And I want to share with you one last important step for my nonprofit sector, right? So if you're a nonprofit organization, it's something called a 501c3. A 501c3 shows that you're a tax-exempt company, right? You don't get taxed, right? Because you're a nonprofit organization. So what you're doing is not to generate and keep money and keep it there for a long time. All the money you're using is being put out for a purpose, right? It is purposeful money, right? So they don't tax you on it, right? But you need a 501c3. Very, very important. At first, I thought when I went to my Secretary of State and did the nonprofit side, I was like, okay, cool, I'm done. That was it. I started applying for grants, and everybody shut me down. And so someone told me, hey, you're 501c3. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, I know my ABCs, but what was that? 501c3. And they broke it down for me. It's how the IRS show that you're a actual real nonprofit. So your state will recognize when you go to the Articles of Incorporation and get in the Secretary of State and getting that done, right? But the country, United States, will not recognize you as a nonprofit without that. Now, it typically costs anywhere between $250 and $500, depending on how much you want to be able to possibly be given. So let's say I want to be given $250,000, up to $250,000, right? And, with that money, I can take any more from anyone else. So let's say Phil wants to go ahead and donate $200,000, and then Will wants to donate $50,000 to me, to my organization. I wouldn't be able to take any more past that, right? And after that, they'll start taxing me on whatever money comes after. Now, if I pay $500, I'll be able to take up to $750,000 in donations, right, in gifts, right? A lot of times you may have an NFL player want to donate to your organization, or an NBA player, or a huge corporation. The first thing they're going to ask you for is that EIN number for that, and to see what's your 501c3 acceptance letter. Because once you get certified with the 501c3 with the IRS, they send you an acceptance letter. How you do that, you'll go on irs.gov and just type in nonprofit, right? And they're going to give you the start to get your 501c3. It's a very simple task. A lot of times we go to CPAs, which is good. I did a CPA at the beginning, then I found out how easy it was. Because I had to pay the CPA fee and then the fee to register for 501c3. So I came out, instead of, when I did the $250 one, I had to pay another $250 to go ahead and have him do it for me. But it's not a bad step as well. Why? Having a CPA allows you to focus on the business, right? So you don't have to worry about all the finances and running around. It allows me to focus on solely the business, okay? So when you get to 501c3, it takes about a couple months because they want to verify a couple of things. They're going to ask you for your EIN number, then ask you what state are you operating in. Are you trying to operate in any other states, right? They're asking for your business address, your business phone number, right? See, everything that I named earlier, right? They're going to ask you for your NAICS number. They're going to ask you for all those things, and then a payment. Then they'll get back to you within like 6 to 8 weeks, and you know, hey, if you got approved for it or not. Now, the IRS will never call you. The IRS will never email you. What they'll do is they'll mail you. They'll mail it to you and say, hey, something's off about what you put in. Can you go ahead and resubmit? We won't charge you again to resubmit. Just go ahead and resubmit, and we'll do it again. Or they'll say, congratulations, here is your document right here giving you your 501c status. And this document, anywhere you go, will allow you to get not pay taxes on goods. Well, that's part one of not paying taxes on goods. Part two is getting a document from your state. Each state has a different document that allows you to not have to pay taxes for statewide. The 501c3 allows it federally, right? I can go to Target, anywhere, and give it to them. I don't have to pay taxes. But you have to have this certification of status in your state as well, right? So you're gonna go to floridarevenue.com, and over there is where you're gonna go get your certification of status for not having to pay taxes, right? That's their own version of tax exempt. Once you do that, it's a very simple process. Again, it takes about like 10, 15 minutes to do. You do it electronically, and in a couple, I'd say about 7 to 10 business days, they're gonna email you back, saying, congratulations, here's your certification right here. And now I can go to Target, Walmart, in the state, anywhere in the state, and say, oh, here's my paper of status. Like, I don't gotta pay taxes. And they'll give me a number. They'll give me a number, so every time I put that number in, when I'm checking out, or a barcode scan, taxes are wiped off, right? But you have to have all these things I named earlier, which is your business phone number, your business address, right? Your EIN number, you being certified with the state through Articles of Corporation, right? You have to have all your DUNS number, your NAICS number. You have to have all these things. Because when you're going to hear about later on about funding and all this money available to you, because there's so much money out there for for-profit organizations and non-profits. There's so much money. If you go to grant.gov, grants.gov, you're going to see so many state and federal grants and funding options there as well. Grants.gov, right? A lot of them you could do by yourself, but if you need a grant, some of them you're going to need a grant writer because they're going to ask for like certain specific information that you may not understand the language that they're talking about. But most of them you can do yourself. And they'll fund you. They'll fund small businesses. They're gonna go ahead and fund nonprofits, S Corps, C Corps. If the idea is good enough, you will get it. You will get it. All right. So guys, that's a wrap, guys. Hopefully you took enough notes on there. Some good notes, but not be a notes. What do you call it, Phil?
And be a
professional note taker. Don't be a professional note taker. You only take notes and leave it in your car, and you find it like 2 years later. Dang, I had this. I had this. All right. So again, utilize it, use it, guys. Put it to work ASAP. I'm talking about right after we finish this whole great conference we got going on. Start the process ASAP while you're motivated. I have a rule, and my rule is I have to do so. If I have an idea or a thought, it has to start after the process within 72 hours. 72 hours. Because within 72 hours, if I don't get it done, I know it's not happening. So give yourself a time limit. Because you know, right? Shaking your head over there like, yeah, it's true. If a week goes by, I'm not doing it, right? So I got 72 hours to knock this out. So I'm done with that part, guys. Hopefully, you got all the great notes you need to make your business legit, right? And not the fake Michael Jordan like I am right now, right? Like I was telling y'all earlier. But go ahead, it's time to make your business legit and stop playing around and doing here in Mama's house, all right? All right, now, I have the esteemed pleasure. Oh, you gonna do it?
Well,
I got it. Yeah, this is one of my mentees right here, man. It's one of my mentees right here. And I've seen her blow up over the past year and a half, right? Like she was at a certain point in her life and she had enough. And she said, you know what, I'm gonna take this business stuff serious. And she has generated some serious money for herself, right? Not working for anybody but herself. Mother of 2 kids now. Mother of 2 kids doing her thing. I have the esteemed pleasure of bringing up Ms. Buddha Jean.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Oh, I need better energy than this. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. All right, we are at the 9 to 5 CEO conference, okay? So we are really excited to have you guys here. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you guys that are here today joining us. physically and also virtually. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. I want to say thank you to my brothers and sisters of the 9 to 5 CEO Conference. I love you guys, and I'm so happy that we were able to come together and really make this conference possible so that we can share this knowledge with the community, right? Because that's what it's about. So without further ado, my name is Wilda Jean, and I am the CEO and founder of the CEO Transformation, where mindset meets business strategy. So I'm going to get into a little bit about myself, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys about mindset and business credit. But first, I want to get to know you guys a little bit better, right? So I want you to raise your hand if you are a business owner. Okay, so we got a lot of business owners. If you're in the chat, drop a 1 if you're a business owner. Now, if you're a CEO, I want you to drop 2 in the chat and raise your hand if you're a CEO. Okay. So the next thing I want to ask you guys, do you guys know the difference between growth mindset and fixed mindset? Okay, 2 people know the difference, right? Okay, 3 people know the difference here. Okay, so that's really good. And then the last question that I have for you guys is, how many of you guys have had at least 2 to 3 jobs in your lifetime? Okay, almost the whole room. Got some laughter here. Okay, so that's great, right? So I want you guys to understand how important mindset is to me, right? So first, I want to share with you guys the difference between growth and fixed mindset. So growth mindset is freedom, right? So you're able to use effort to create the required skills that you need, right? You're able to find inspiration in others' success. You're able to accept criticism versus a fixed mindset, right? You avoid challenges, you ignore feedback, you're threatened by others' success. And that's very important, right? And you guys might be thinking, well, if she knows what she's talking about, why does she have her phone in her hand, right? That goes into growth mindset for me because I know my limitations and I know what works for me and I can stand on that, right? I know what I'm talking about. However, I realized that I was not as organized as I thought I was. And so this is just here for me to have my thoughts organized, right? And so I set myself up for success because I know what works for me. And if somebody else can come up here and they can organize their thoughts, that's great because that's what works for them. And I will still be happy for them and I will cheer them on. But I have to cheer myself on in the way that works for me, right? And so growth mindset is very important. And I realized that I was coming from a fixed mindset for a long time. So I was stagnant when I thought I was moving. The days were moving in the year, but I wasn't. I was depressed, I was discouraged, and I didn't know where I was gonna go and what my life would look like. And so as my mentor said, he watched me transform. And that's why the name of my brand is God-given, because God really transformed me. But first he had to transform my mindset before anything else, right? And so the reason why I asked you guys, how many jobs have you had in the past? Well, I started off doing credit repair, right? So I would talk to my mentor all the time and I would tell him different tips about credit repair. So one day he advised me to go ahead and get involved with a credit repair company. And I said, I don't think so. Like, that's not my thing. I don't want to do that. So he pushed me. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to take the call. I'm going to listen. God blessed me through being obedient that they paid for me to start my credit repair program. And so I started, I was successful. I had a lot of personal development within that, which goes back to mindset. And so it was definitely the stepping stone that I didn't know that I needed at the time. And so I got into credit repair. And then I started learning different things and I realized, hey, I actually enjoy talking to business owners. Then I started to get into business credit and business funding. And I was like, wow, this is a whole nother world for me. Like, I actually like this more than I like credit repair. And then I realized that I was always saying inspirational stuff and talking about things related to mindset. So then I dared to start talking about mindset and incorporating that in my business as well. And I was like, dang, people are going to be like, this girl is just entrepreneur hopping, right? But most of the time, the reason why people change their jobs is because they want better pay, or because they have a horrible manager and they just need to be somewhere that, has them at peace, or for whatever the reason might be. But people that work 9 to 5s get the choice to change for whatever reason so that they're satisfied, whether it's for pay, for, diversity, or whatever that might look like. And so I had to tell myself, if I want to change because this market no longer serves me, it's okay. If I'm still learning what I'm passionate about and I decide to change, that's okay. You're allowed to grow. You're allowed to change your ideas, your thoughts, your feelings. And so I realized where I would serve my community the best. And I decided to stand on that and not be afraid of what people would think. Oh, she went from this to this to this. That's okay. I grew, I learned, I conquered. And now I can stand on this stage confident in what I'm doing and what I'm speaking about. And so the CEO transformation is about mindset first before we talk about business strategy and business credit. Because a lot of times we want the money, we want the strategies. I had all of that, but I didn't know what to do with it because I didn't have the right mindset. So I can help you get $100,000 in business credit, but if you don't know how to maintain it because you don't have the right financial mindset, spiritual mindset, emotional mindset, it's not going to make you a difference. And so that's why I start my clients with mindset first. Let's talk about your quarterly goals. Are you thinking like a CEO or are you thinking like a business owner? Because we're taught to come in and be business owners, but we're not taught to be CEOs. I would come in, you want to leave a 9 to 5, right? Because you want more time with your family and friends, but then you work a business and you're working 24 hours, right? Why? Does the CEO of Walmart is not working 24 hours. He has a team that he delegates to, and they do different things, right? And so with that, it's like, are we being taught to actually, use systems and software that's going to automate certain things for us so that we don't have to worry about, getting up in the middle of the night to send out an email to a client or to respond to a client, when we know that Instagram and Facebook is sending out those replies for us, that we know that our systems in the back end is sending out emails to make sure that we're still engaging with those clients that might not be speaking to us on social media. We have a team. We don't have to do it by ourselves. But as business owners, we're taught that we have to wear all of the hats by ourselves, and we're supposed to have some type of badge of honor for doing that. But in reality, we're tired, we feel defeated, we feel discouraged, we don't even want to do it anymore. We're losing our passion simply because we're trying to do everything by ourselves. And sometimes it's not even about the money, it's just about lack of knowledge, because there are resources out here that can help you to automate your business, to not have to do everything by yourself, and it's really cost effective. But when you don't know, right? And so one of the first things that I do with my clients, like I said, we go over quarterly goals, because guess what? Every single organization, large companies like Walmart, Target, Walgreens, they have quarterly goals that they review every month, every 3 months, to make sure that they're meeting their goals so that way they can make adjustments. So right now, we're in quarter 4 of the year, right? But in reality, if you didn't already plan for quarter 4 of this year, you should be thinking about quarter 1 of next year, right? So quarter 1 would be January, February, and March. So let's say February, you wanted to do something for Valentine's Day, right? So that means that you would have to know to put that in your February month. So that way in January, if you need to do a photo shoot, if you need to collaborate with certain people, whatever that looks like, you can have that preparation in place. And once you can see the vision, right? If you guys know the Bible, he says, write the vision and make it plain. And that was something that I had to break with my mindset. I was fixed on not writing things out, right? I insisted that I could do it if it's in my head. And I realized that in reality, it doesn't work like that. God did not make that scripture for no reason. Write the vision and make it plain. Why? Because it's something about putting pen to paper that makes 100% of a difference. I can attest to that 100%. Once I started writing things out, right? I love affirmations. So once I started writing out my affirmations, I will be connected to people that will help me to go to the next level. I will be connected to software that will help me take my business to the next level. I will have clients that will be understanding. I will have clients that will be able to afford my services. All of those things started happening because I started writing the vision and making it plain, right? It's super important to do that. And that goes back to mindset. And I had to be honest with myself. As a business owner, I learned that I'm not as organized as I thought I was. My time management is not as good as I thought it was, and a list of other things. But I'm grateful for it because now I can make the adjustments. It's so liberating to be able to stand in your truth and make the adjustments that you need so that you can work on those things. So now that I know, okay, I gotta be more organized, like now I'm taking the time to set up these systems, right? So that way I'm organized. I have my calendar on my phone, on my laptop. I'm getting the reminders, like I have a virtual assistant, right? So that way certain things that don't serve me, that maybe I'm not capable of doing, they can do it. And so I'm very grateful that I switched my mindset so that way I can make the necessary adjustments to be the best version of myself and so that I can also be the best business owner possible, right? And with that being said, that's where the transformation comes in. So I'm grateful, like I said, for that. And with changing my mindset, listen, now I could talk about business credit, right? Now, business credit is amazing. Business credit changed my life. How? Because I didn't know that there was money out here for business owners. And you didn't have to have good credit. You didn't even have to have credit at all to get started. And a lot of times, business owners are afraid to start the business simply because they don't know where the money is going to come from. Can we say amen to that? Amen. Okay, so business credit. So Charles did a great job of explaining the structure that you need in order for you to get started with getting business credit and business funding, right? And I want to touch on a few things. So your business name is extremely important, right? Because did you guys know that there are certain industries that will cause you an automatic denial for business credit and business funding? So let's say you're in real estate, right? You do not want your business name to be Charles Real Estate Investments. You don't want it to be Wilda's Credit Repair Company. You will get denied, you will get flagged, and your accounts will be closed. Like I said, since I started in credit repair, I didn't even have credit repair in my name because I knew not to do that. So I put financial in my name thinking that I would avoid getting caught, right? So one day I called Navy Federal. I had already created an account with them, and so I wanted to open a business account. So I said, okay, I'm gonna call them. So it took about an hour. I was on the phone with these people for 1 hour. So now she's like, okay, do you have social media? Do you have this? Do you have that? So as we're speaking, she goes and she looks up my business online. So I'm thinking, well, it's financial. It shouldn't be an issue, right? She goes as far as to look on my Instagram page, right? She's like, oh, I'm going to put you on hold real quick. I say, okay, no problem. She puts me on hold. She's gone for like 5 minutes, and it was probably the longest 5 minutes I've ever been on hold. I'm like, what is she, like, come on, I know my name is there. I've researched myself. So as we move forward, she comes back and she says, ma'am, we're not going to be able to open an account for you today. I say, okay, may I know the reason why? She said, well, on your page, we saw that you were offering credit repair services, so we're not going to be able to move forward with you. I said, okay, well, if I dissolve using credit repair, will I be able to open this account? She said, ma'am, you will never be able to come to our company, our bank, and have an account under this name, under RRM Financial, ever. Even if you remove all the posts, you change everything online, it doesn't matter. You can't do it under this name. I said, okay, wow. Well, thank you anyways. Got off the phone, right? And so that taught me a big lesson that the name is very important. You want to make sure that you're not putting yourself in a position to be labeled as a high-risk industry and get denials. It will happen, right? And like Charles was saying about the address, I have a family member who went and got a business address, right? However, when you're getting a business address, a virtual address, you want to make sure that it's an office space, because you can actually look it up before you purchase that specific virtual address. So you want to make sure that it looks like an office space, because there are virtual addresses that are located in Staples, that's located at the UPS store, and those will cause you to get denials as well, because they're going to feel like you're not a legitimate business in a sense, because it's just a mailbox, like literally. And so that's very important to know, because she was like applying for the same things that I was applying for, and I was getting approved and she wasn't. And she didn't understand why. And then once I started to learn more about business credit, then I realized the issue was her address, because hers was located in a Staples. And so that is very, very, very important. And so the other thing that's very important when it comes to structuring your business is your business bank account, right? Because you can get funding, like I said, with no credit at all, right? No personal credit. Now, if you're generating, let's say, at least $5,000, in some cases they'll work with you at $4,000, but $5,000, let's say, right? You need to have a business bank account that money is going through, and you have to have that business bank account open as soon as possible, because most of the time they're going to ask you for at least 2 or 3 bank statements, right? Because how would they know that that account is generating how much you say if you don't even have 3 statements? That means you haven't been operating that bank account for at least 3 months. And so you want to make sure that you get that business bank account as soon as you can. It's very important. And even having payment processors like Stripe, PayPal, they will give you money for your business as well if they see that money generating through your merchant account. And so you can literally get money without personal credit, without business credit. So from merchant accounts, like I said, income-based, if you don't want to deal with your personal credit isn't good right now, that's fine. Maybe you have the income to prove it. Great. Now, if not, we're going to go deeper into business credit, right? So there are 8 tiers of business credit. And you want to make sure that after you get the business structured, that you start off in your tier 1 accounts, right? So I absolutely love my tier 1 accounts right now. They are the best thing that I've ever heard of. I'm in love with them, and they are great, especially for people that sell products. So for example, one of my favorite companies is Quail.com. That's QUILL.com. So the reason why I love Quail is because they sell a variety of things, such as household cleaning supplies. They sell laundry detergent. They sell cleaning supplies. They sell printers, office supplies. They even have children educational things. You can buy a whiteboard from there. You can buy markers, pens. It's honestly limitless what you can buy from them. And then the other thing that I really love is that you can actually customize certain things. Like I've gotten my business cards from them. I've gotten customized pins from them for my business. And so they're a really great tool to use because it's very versatile, where you can purchase things not only for your business, but also for personal items as well. So me, for example, since I work from home, right, and tax write-offs and things like that, I can say that I purchased some of these things like the toilet paper. I bought my toilet paper on Quill through my business credit, and I'm using it for my business at home. So in that way, it can be a tax write-off. I get the toilet paper that I was going to get at Walmart anyways, and I'm purchasing it under my business credit. Now, I want you guys to understand that these tier 1 accounts are called net 30 accounts. And what that means is that you have 30 days to pay that money back. Now, there are certain companies that will allow you to do net 60, net 90. So that just means that they'll give you 60 days or they'll give you 90 days. So it just depends on the terms that those companies provide to you. So the best thing to do, especially when you first start and you don't have business credit at all, you want to make sure that you pay that bill within 10 days. Don't wait for the 30 days, because the Dun & Bradstreet number, that Paydex score that they will give you, that you will generate, it goes from 0 to 100. And you want to make sure that you have at least an 80 or higher, right? So that's equivalent to a 750 or higher on the personal credit side. So with that being said, you want to make sure that you generate an 80. So the scores work based off of how early or how late you pay your business credit back. So when you're paying for business credit, when you pay it early, it helps your score be higher. So if you pay it on time, your score might go to 70 or 75. They want to see that you're generating enough money to actually pay it early. So that's super, super important, especially for the first time before you generate a score. And then you also want to make sure that you also, sorry guys. Okay, so you got the score, right? Now that you have the score, you want to make sure that you have at least 3 to 5 companies reporting from tier 1. So for that Paydex score to generate, you have to have 3 to 5 trade lines. Trade line just means an account reporting on your report. Okay? Trade line is an account reporting on the business credit report. So 3 to 5, and then it will generate that Paydex score. So like I said, Quail is an example of a tier 1 account. Then we also have Uline.com, right? And honestly, when I looked at Qline's website, I thought there was nothing for me on there. And then they didn't even let me call them. They were intentional and they sent me their catalog. And their catalog is at least 200 to 300 pages of products. And boy, do they have so much things. They have mason jars. They have large trash bins. They have mailers. They have wristbands. They have like anything and everything that you need for your business, you can purchase it from there. And so I was so grateful that I did get the catalog, because I'm releasing my first product for Black Friday, right? And so once I started to look in there, there were things that I needed that Quail didn't have, but Uline did. And so now that puts me in a position, you have to understand the power of having business credit, right? If you have business credit and you have at least 30 days to pay it back, if you really couldn't pay it back early, you still have a whole 30 days, right? So let's say you spent $500 on your business credit, right? Now that $500, you can get your inventory, make the money off of the inventory, right? Now that $500 that you didn't have to spend up front, you can push that into ads, influencer marketing, or whatever else that will help you to make the sales, right? Or it could be a class. Use that $500 to take a class to improve your skills, and now you can make more money because you got better skills, right? So now you make the money back from the sales. So now you have the money to pay back your business credit, plus you made a profit. Do you understand what you just did to yourself? Do you understand what you just did for your business? Guess what? Walmart does not walk into wherever they get their inventory from and purchase upfront. They don't. They get invoiced, and that's what this is. You're basically getting invoiced for your business to pay it back at a later time. And these companies will give you an opportunity to prove that you can show up just like Walmart and Target and be invoiced and be responsible enough to pay it back. So take advantage of that opportunity. Tell your family, tell your friends, because it is such a life-changing thing for you to be able to do that and not have to focus on the money to get the inventory that you need, right? And so for me, like I said, I'm releasing a product on Black Friday. And so it's a mindset box, right? So with the mindset box, it's going to be a prayer jar, right? Inside of it, I'm going to use a mason jar that I'm getting off of my business credit. I'm going to get sticky notes, a customized pen off of my business credit. And the prayer jar, you're going to be able to write out your prayers. And every time God answers your prayers, you can put that sticky note in the jar. So that way you'll end up with a jar of answered prayers, right? And anytime you feel discouraged, you need some faith, you can literally open that jar up and read your prayers, and you can feel like, okay, God, you brought me through something before, you can do it again, right? And then you have the 3-month affirmation letter. So you're going to write out a letter to your future self, and then you're going to read it 3 months later. So for example, when I had my son, I wrote a letter to myself. This was 3 years ago. And I was going through a very tough time with that. And I wrote it when I was 6 months pregnant, right? And so when I had my son, I read that letter. And when I say I was in tears, I was boohoo crying, I had told myself, you're beautiful, you're amazing, I'm so proud of you. By now you should have had a healthy baby boy, and I know he's home with you, and you are the best mother that you can be. And that letter came at a time that I didn't know that I would need it, but it was everything for me. And so that's one of the things that's included in the box as well. And then the other things that are included in the box is a wristband. So the wristband is for when you're complaining, right? A lot of times we don't realize how often we complain. So you put the wristband on, and every time you catch yourself complaining, you switch the wristband to the other arm. And you see how often you're actually complaining, and then you use that to complain less. The goal is to go through 30 days consecutively without complaining. It's not easy, and every time you catch yourself complaining, you have to start over until you make it to a full 30 days. But guess what? You're holding yourself accountable, right? Growth mindset, not fixed mindset. You can do it. You will do it. And so with that being said, you can also do that for anything else. Let's say if you feel like you curse too much. Same concept. Switch the wristband every time until you get the desired result, until you can say that you made it through 30 days consecutively without doing whatever it is that you don't want to do anymore. And so the wristband I also got with my business credit. And then the actual box itself that's going to host all of these things, I was like stressed out because there's not a company specifically that I know of that would offer net 30 terms for these boxes. And these boxes are not cheap. And when you're trying to buy a lot of them, it adds up very quickly. So I said, what am I gonna do? Like, I started reaching out to companies. So I'm like, these companies may have net 30s terms that I don't know about, right? I spent a month researching until I found a company that was willing to offer me net 30 terms for the box. So guess what? When I release this box, I'm not gonna spend any money out of pocket, right? Just for the boxes alone, the order is over $1,000, right? So that's not including all the other things that's included in the box. So I'm grateful that I was able to use my business credit to my advantage, use what I learned to my advantage. And now, once I start making the sales, guess what? All of that money, once it goes to the inventory for me to pay back the business credit, everything else is straight profit. But I don't have to worry about coming out of pocket. It's so crucial, and it made so much of a difference. And I'm grateful that I learned about business credit because, like I said, it changed my life. Because that $1,000 comes away from my children, right? But I'm doing this for my kids. So I have to learn how to operate like a CEO. And a CEO is not gonna pay out of their pocket. The CEO of Walmart isn't gonna go to a vendor and say, hey, I got the cash in my hand. Can I pay you? No. Invoice. Invoice me, please. That's what I wanna say. I'll make a shirt. Invoice me, please. Okay? I do not want to pay upfront. Invoice me, please. And so with that being said, you know, once you are done with the tier 1 vendors, then you move on to tier 2, which is retail vendors. Guess what? You can get business credit from Lowe's, Home Depot, JCPenney, Amazon. Amazon has a net 30 program where you don't have to use your personal credit, right? There are some amazing companies out here that will extend net 30 terms to you guys. And not only that, Amazon actually also has net 55, which would be amazing. I have almost 2 months to pay back this business credit. That's amazing. Let me buy these products on Amazon, let me sell them, and then I can pay them back. And so as you move up into the tiers, you can also use that to your advantage. You can get a car under your business without using your personal credit. I've seen thousands of people go and get a car under their business with no money down, no personal credit, straight on their EIN. It is possible. But you do have to build that business credit score. So I've seen people literally be aggressive and build their business credit score within 90 days and go get a car off the lot, brand new, with no personal credit, off of their EIN, and they put their car on Turo, right? So now we're seeing how we can add an additional stream of income to get, you guys see what I'm saying here? Okay, and then the last thing that I'll leave you guys with is the importance of an LLC, right? So you can get so much money by being a business owner, by having your LLCs. So let's say you were in real estate. Your name is not, doesn't have real estate in it, doesn't have investment in it, but you get your LLC, right? Well, you want to do Airbnb within that. That's another LLC. But then you want a cleaning company. That's another LLC, right? So now you have at least 3 LLCs. And let's say you have a 650 credit score, right? And you go to TD Bank. And TD Bank says, well, with a 650 credit score, we'll give you $10,000. Okay. And this is a business credit card, right? Okay, thanks. But what you just did is now you know what the requirements are to get this amount of money. So if you know that they need a 650 to give you $10,000, if you have 2 other LLCs, that's $30,000 in total. Do you understand what you just did there? Just because you had 3 LLCs, you just got $30,000. You have to play the game smart. That's why people have multiple LLCs, because each LLC is its own money generating machine. And that's only one bank, guys. So imagine if you go to Bank of America and they tell you they got another $10,000 for you for your credit score. And then you have 2 other LLCs. That's another $30,000. And that's only 2 banks. And that's not including credit unions who give you more money typically than traditional banks. And so now you're playing the game and you can see, okay, this is how much I can get from this bank, that bank, this and that. And guess what? If you wanted to go, now you want to go get a house because you have the down payment or whatever that looks like for you, you have the opportunity to do so. Whatever you're thinking about investing in, now you have the capital to do that. So I'll leave you guys with this. If you're a business owner or you're thinking about becoming a business owner, you can do it. I believe in you. Don't leave here today thinking that someone doesn't believe in you or your vision, your plans. You can do it because you're a child of God, and He said that you can do all things through Him. And if you think like a CEO, you can do all the things you want to do. You can accomplish all the things that you want. There's money out there for you, so don't feel like you have to be discouraged or you need to start next year or 2 years from now. Start now. We see how times are changing. This is the time to be a CEO. This is the time to hold on to your legacy, right? To build on that. You can't leave a job to your children or your brother or your sister or whoever your family member is. So make the decision to either start or improve your business and think like a CEO. Thank you, guys.
All right, wasn't that awesome? Yeah. How much info did you get from that? A lot. And I guarantee you guys are gonna walk out of here for people that actually go implement it. How much money you're gonna end up receiving? Shout out to all the credit unions because they actually do give more than traditional banks. They do. They give a lot more. Especially if you have a business account, they give you a lot more. All right. So we're gonna have a 5-minute intermission, guys. You can go use the bathroom. You can go eat. You can network a little bit. But we'll be back at, let's say 12:11. 12:11, 12:12. All right. Let's go.
you guys are enjoying everything you are seeing so far. If you are in here in the Zoom meeting, what I want you to do, if everything you're hearing right now is fire, I want you to drop some ones in the chat. So I want you to drop some ones. And if everybody here, you guys are liking what you hear so far, I want you guys to make some noise. I want you guys to make some noise, man. Right, so we got somebody else coming up. They're going to show you how you can create irresistible content that converts to sales. Like a lot of people overlook content, but this is something that could allow you to generate consistent sales, even if you don't have a large following. You literally could have like 100 followers and have a six-figure business, right? So Shanique's gonna break this down. We got Shanique coming up here. She's a marketing coach. So welcome to the stage, Shanique. Everybody make some noise for her.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Okay. I want y'all to clap it up for you. No, let me show y'all. I want y'all to do a little cute clap for yourself. Just a little cute clap, like just a little cute clap, like so you can't really hear it. Okay. Now I want y'all to clap it up for yourself, like you just did something. You was working on a goal for yeah, you got it. Okay. A little better. Okay. Thank you. That was just for me, so you know when I see the replay, I can see that y'all made a lot of noise when I was coming up. Okay. So thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm so glad to have you here at the 9 to 5 CEO conference. Like, I'm so excited to just talk about content with you guys, right? So the importance of content, how you can use your content to basically get sales, to get conversions, right? So conversions is big. That just basically means like it's generating you some money, basically. So before we get started, I kind of want to know, so I know we have business owners in here, and I know there's business owners watching online, but I kind of want to know what are some of the things that you guys struggle with when it comes to content. So you can raise your hand if any of these things that I say apply, or you can go ahead and drop some ones in the chat. All right, so when it comes to content, do you guys struggle with like coming up with ideas on things to actually post online? If that's you, raise your hand. Okay, we have some of y'all. Okay, so what about finding the time to actually post the content? Did anyone struggle with that? Okay, drop the ones in the chat. Okay. So what about, you posted the content, you have the idea, but what about being consistent, like posting it consistently? Does anyone struggle with that, being consistent with their content? Okay. All right, so the last one. Does anyone struggle with actually making sales, making some money from the content that you put out? Okay, all right, cool, okay, so I think y'all will benefit from today's, discussion, I would say. All right, so let me just give you a little back history. Let me introduce myself. So my name is Shanine Alacia Young. I am a certified educator. I am a self-publishing and content marketing coach. So I help entrepreneurs self-publish and market books that will grow their business, and also create content that will basically generate sales, get them the attention that they need, get that engagement, and basically just build their overall business, right? So this is kind of like really, really personal to me, because I remember when I first started out as a business owner, and I would post content, right? And I know that it's good. I know whatever I'm selling, I know I spent time with it. It's valuable. But for some reason, when I started out, I would just like post, like, let's say the product picture, or, just like post whatever I did. And I would get like a few little likes, maybe like 5, 10 likes. But I really wouldn't get sales, right? So until I figured out, like, okay, maybe this has to do with strategy, which I think a lot of things do have to do with strategy. Once I figured out a strategy, then I was able to kind of see, like, oh, I need to actually plan this out. I can't just hop on Instagram or hop on Facebook or go on YouTube or make a podcast, whatever. There's a lot of different contents that you can put out there. I just can't just do it and just say, well, it's done, let me check it off. Like, no, it actually takes some type of planning, some type of thought that has to go into it. So when one of my very first products, right, was my first book, right? So I knew, like, okay, this is huge, right? I just can't say, hey, I got a book, and think everyone's gonna buy it. No, I had to kind of build up the hype a little bit, and I had to be strategic. So I dropped it on Mother's Day, y'all. I dropped it on Mother's Day, and the caption with everything, everybody was like, ooh, they were commenting in the caption, they were excited, and I put a lot of thought into it. So I would say with whatever content you're putting out, make sure you actually take a second to think and figure out like, okay, is there a certain day you might want to drop it on? I think all that really matters. So when I made this post, the caption was something on the lines of like, oh, this is my new baby that I'm dropping, something like that. And a lot of people are commenting in regards to the caption, in regards to the picture. So I had everything like laid out. It was all like prepared and thought. And I remember the night before, I was sitting down with my husband and I was like, okay, I'm about to do this. I'm about to do pre-orders, which is, that's a big thing. That's a whole nother topic. But I didn't even have the book completely done. So I was doing pre-orders and I was able to generate, money from that. So I told my husband the night before, I said, okay, you see what's in the account right now? I was like, by tomorrow night, it's gonna double this account. And guess what? It did. So I would say two main things is you wanna set that goal. So you wanna be intentional, set a goal whenever you're creating content, be confident in the goal, and actually have a plan. So throughout this presentation, I'm gonna actually show y'all a full content strategy plan that I follow, when it comes to creating my content. But I just wanted to share that just in hopes of encouraging you that it is possible. Like even if you start out and you're like, I'm not really making too many sales, having a plan really helps, right? So here is what I like to call the 3 C's. So y'all say 3 C's.
3 C's.
Okay, here are the 3 C's of conversion for me. Okay, so let me write it down. Some of y'all visual. So the 3 C's to get a conversion, I would say, is for you to create clear, so that's number 1, consistent, what y'all think is the last C? Content. Yeah, y'all smart. Okay, y'all smart. So clear, consistent content, okay? So clear, consistent content. So I'm gonna go through all 3 of them and why this is important, right? So clear. So what do I mean when I say clear? So you need to know who is your target audience. Who needs this service? Who needs this product? Who needs whatever you are putting out? You need to know who actually needs it, right? Because if you don't know that, then your content is not going to be clear. It's going to be like something that you just made and put together and then kind of sporadic, and then people are like, wait, hold up. This is a skincare product, but who's it for? Is it for people with like skin that's oily? Like you want to be very, very clear on what your product does, what your service does, and who it's for. And then once you're clear on that, talk directly to them. So talk directly to the audience that you're creating the content for. So some ways to make your content clear is definitely the type of content you put out. So something that I teach some of my clients is like, come up with the catchy name that you want to call like your customers, right? So I have a cousin, she has a company, it's called like Madison, it's called Madison, I can't remember the last name, but she calls them, hey Maddies, we have a new arrival, something like that. Something to kind of make them know like, oh, you're talking directly to them. So if you sell to entrepreneurs, if you sell to teachers, if you sell to children, if you sell, whoever you sell to, you sell them to lawyers, like call them by name so that when they see this content, they're not like, is that for me? I'm not really sure. Like they know it's directly for them because you're so clear on one, that you're clear on who you're addressing and you're clear on like what it's all about, right? So you don't want anyone to come to your social media page and be like, you sell this, but who are you actually targeting? And then you don't want them to come to your page and really not know who your page is about, right? So for example, I hope you guys are utilizing Reels, right? So it was a time, which is still now, but I feel like in the beginning when they was just putting it out, they were pushing it out way, way more. So a lot of us were able to get like a lot of exposure, had like thousands, of views. So I would say it would be wise, right, with posting the content to be very careful, right? Because you never know what type of content is gonna pick up and what's gonna go viral, right? So if you know your page is not about like, let's say you have a video like talking about romance and giving tips. If you know that's not what your whole page or your brand or your business is about, you probably shouldn't post type content like that, right? Because what's gonna happen is if that post goes viral and picks up, people are gonna be following your page expecting for that type of content, right? They're gonna be expecting, oh, Phil posted that, okay, cool, let me follow him because he's the relationship guru, okay. And then they go on your page and it's like, what? They're talking about, what are they talking about? Talking about how to bake chicken? Like they're a chef? What? but I came to their page because I found this reel and they were talking about this. So you want to be clear with the content that you're putting out. You don't want to confuse people because a confused buyer, first of all, we say this all the time, a confused buyer, a confused person does not buy because they're kind of on reserve, like, I'm not really sure, right? So you want to make sure you're putting out content that shows your expertise and that actually is for your specific target audience, right? So you can do that by definitely making sure you stay in your category and try not to go too far left field. I would also say how to be clear is your captions, your headlines. So that's a big thing, right? So let me tell you how big it is. So for example, like if you see, like someone has a training, right? They have a training, they're teaching you how to like improve your sales. Like which one, and you guys in the chat, you can tell me number 1 or number 2, but I want to hear from y'all as well. Which one would you probably be interested in? Like if you see the title says, how to increase sales. That's title number 1. Or you see how to sell, let's say we're talking about books. How to sell 24 books in 24 hours. Which one would y'all want? Number 1 or number 2? 2, right? Okay, so you would want number 2 because it's very clear, it's straight to the point, and then the caption, it's a little irresistible, right? Because it's like, okay, and it's very tangible. So a way for you to make sure that your content is clear is when you write these headlines, when you write these titles, like things that you guys can do, let me just tell you, you can include numbers. So people love numbers. Like if you give them something that they can tell, oh, what, 24 books? Okay, cool. Like something like that, put numbers in it, maybe a how-to. Those are different things that kind of lets people like, okay, they'll be quicker to respond because they feel like it's actually something that they can like attain or get and they see the value in it. So even if you don't do numbers, here's another example. So let's say you're selling hair products or you're selling oils. Something that you could say instead of just saying, get this hair oil to improve your hair. Like no, like add a little something to it. So maybe like you can say that it thickens the hair and increases shine within the first 7 days of usage or something like that. Doesn't that sound better than just say, oh, it gives you healthy hair or improves your hair? So this all, when you're thinking of content, like the titles, y'all, the captions, the headlines, all those things matter because guess what? You might get them by the nice little graphic. You might get them by the nice little video, but as we said earlier, confused people don't buy. If they're confused in the caption, like, what does this even do? Like, okay, this looks cool, but why should I buy this? They're probably not gonna buy. So you wanna be very clear, you wanna be very concise, and you wanna make sure people understand like why they need that product, why they need that service, so you want to be clear. So that's the first C. So I think we got through that. So now I wanna touch on consistency. So consistency. How can we be consistent? So some of y'all raised your hands and you were like, you're not too consistent, right? That's not good, especially we're all here because we're trying to grow our business, right? You guys online, you guys in here, we're trying to scale our business. We're trying to take it to the next level. So we have to be consistent in everything we do, right? So we can't just post online. You can't just post, I like to call it post and ghost. We can't just post, we can't just post on Monday and then we don't post again until 3 Mondays later. Like, no, like I understand y'all, you're busy, we got kids, some of us got spouses, we have like 2 to 3 jobs, sometimes we have different side hustles. We got a lot going on, I know, but guess what, we have to be consistent. We have to be consistent. Just as Charles was talking about earlier, like, you know, when you're trying to get these different fundings and they want to see like, okay, are you professional? Consistency shows that you're professional as well, right? So when you're consistent, you come off as more professional. So some ways to be consistent, I would say, is these are some things that you can do if you want to be more consistent with your content. Come up with your own schedule. When do you want to post content? So something that I like to do when I first started, I was like, okay, I'm gonna aim for 3 days a week. Even if I just get 2, I'm gonna aim for 3. So I would post every Monday, I would post every Wednesday, and every Friday, right? So this does 2 things. This keeps you accountable and shows you like, okay, dang, it's Monday, I didn't make a post yet. It shows you, right, what you need to do. But I don't like the rush post, like don't just, oh my gosh, I gotta make something. Like no, if it's not gonna be intentional, don't even make it. Just skip that day, right? But something you can do, if you know Monday and Wednesday and Friday is your schedule, then guess what? The week before, the Saturday, the Friday, plan out your content. create a plan and plan out your content and figure out what things do you want to post this week. And I would say have days for these things too. So something that I teach my clients is, let's say Monday, you want to, everybody do that motivational Monday. Let's say you want to do like a motivational quote. You don't have to do that. You could do something else. You could be outside the box. But if you want to do a motivational quote, then every Monday like, okay, the week before, I need to be thinking about something motivational that I can use, right? And I don't like planning content like too far in advance. Like I wouldn't say plan for next, because guess what? When things come up, like things go viral, things are trending, you should be hopping on that, especially as a business owner. You should be making it, work for your business. So when you plan too far advance, you may end up not even using that content, honestly. So I would say come up with days that you want to post, maybe even times. You want to be that consistent, maybe at certain time. And this shows people, the other thing is it shows people like what to expect from you. So they know like, okay, if I go on Eric's page, on Monday, okay, you ain't posted yet. And then it's Wednesday, dang, he hasn't posted since Monday. They kind of see like the schedule. They kind of see like, this person's been consistent. So when you're off, it kind of raise a few flags. We've been talking about red flags all past 2 months, right? So it kind of raises a few flags like, hold up, what's going on? Like, you legitimate business. I know things happen, but we want to try to be consistent as possible. And some apps, I want to give you guys some apps that you can use, that you can write down, that can kind of help you with this. They kind of help you with the scheduling a little bit. There's a lot, but let me tell you the ones that I like personally. So I like to use Planoly, and I think depending on the type of business you have would be better. Certain ones are better. I would like to use Later as well. And some people like to use Hootsuite. Anyone use Hootsuite in here? And then actually you can also use Facebook, the Facebook Business Suite. You can use that as well. You can schedule your posts in that as well. So these are just four apps that you can actually use to go ahead and be a little, let me move out the way. So these are 4 apps. So Planoly, Later, Hootsuite, Facebook Business Suite. There's a lot more, but those are just 4 that you can use to kind of get a little more consistent with your content and schedule it out. You can schedule it as far in advance as you want. Just schedule it out. You can even choose the specific time that you want to use, but you want to be consistent, guys. So whatever you got to do to figure out a plan on how you be consistent with your content, go ahead and use those, and that can definitely help you. Let me touch on how to make the content irresistible, right? So we talked about how to get those conversions. Once people see that you're clear, you know who your audience is, you know who you're talking to, you're putting out content that matches your brand, that matches whatever you're selling. Once you're consistent with it, they keep seeing you. Like you ever seen an ad and you just keep seeing it over and over and over. You're just like, well, maybe I should just give this person a try. Like I just keep seeing your face. I keep seeing your book. I just give it a try. I've done that a few times. That's actually how I got one of my business coaches. I just kept seeing his face. He just kept talking. He was dropping gems. And I was just like, let me see what works. Let me try it out. But it was because he was so consistent, right? I kept seeing him over and over. So if you're not to the point where you can get ads yet, that's fine. But definitely being consistent with your content. I follow him as well, and he would go live like every Thursday at 5. So that was his thing, right? So there's different things you can do. You can go live consistently. You can post consistently. You can have episodes if you have a podcast. Just be consistent as possible. So how to make it irresistible? So a few things that you can do to make sure your content is irresistible is you want to make sure, of course, your headlines are on point. It's very specific. You're making sure there's scroll-stopping headlines where it's not just like, okay, lose weight, cool. No, like, you want to tell me the time frame that I can lose weight? You want to tell me what your product can actually do? That's a way to make sure it's irresistible. Also, deals. Give some really good deals. Have people feel like they're missing out if they don't hop on it, right? So maybe you have a window in the next 24 hours. This sale is going to close. Those are things that makes your content irresistible because guess what? People feel like, I got to kind of hop on. Like, I'm going to miss out if I don't hop on this deal, right? So that's another way to make sure your content is irresistible. I would also say make sure it's easily accessible. So what do I mean with that? So you ever seen sometimes people, they post like, I got this new thing, I'm going to be at this event, and then it's like confusing. It's like, okay, so what time is the event? Where's the event? Or if if it's a product, what exactly does this product do? What are you selling? Like, you want to make sure that the information is easily accessible for them to actually see, whether you do a flyer, whether you just make a post with the information. Make sure it's easily accessible. You want to make sure they know what to do. So this is where a lot of us lose people in the process when we post this really good content. People, you may get those comments, but it's just like, okay, where am I going to go next? Is there a link? Are you going to send me an invoice? Like, what am I supposed to do next? So I would say you really want to make sure that when you're putting out this content, like, it's easily accessible. So something that you can do, here's a quick hack. When it comes to Facebook, do you guys know how to put links in your Facebook stories? No? Okay. So here's something you can do, because people love to just quit, instead of, like, they don't want to send you a message. They don't want to go all around the town, right, just to buy something. They're like, you need to make this clear so I could just get it. So here's something you can do. You can download the app WhatsApp. Everybody know what WhatsApp is? WhatsApp? Okay. If you're from the islands, you know what WhatsApp is. So you want to download the app WhatsApp, right? When you download the app WhatsApp, there's options for you to add, like, stories on WhatsApp as well, right? At the top. So what you do is you can post a picture or whatever, you can do a little video, whatever you want, you can do that. Then after you do that, you go in and make another story. You click the option where it's like you just add text, right? You can copy your link from the internet, you put it in there. So on WhatsApp, it actually shows in the stories on WhatsApp, right? Then the next step is for you to connect your WhatsApp to Facebook, to your Facebook, right? So once you made that story post on WhatsApp, right, you just go, I think there's like 3 little dots or something, you just click it, and then you put share to Facebook. So now, when people are going on your Facebook, you say, oh, come to my conference, oh, buy my book, or whatever. You don't have to allow them to leave from the story, like where they were looking through stories. They literally can just click it from your Facebook story. So that's something that you can do, and guess what? That's easily accessible, right? That's not allowing people to figure out, you don't want people to try to figure out how they can spend money with you, right? You want to minimize the steps as much as possible. So you want to have links, and you don't want to waste time. You want to make sure that you have a link. You want to make sure that it's something they can just click, or even if you want them to message you, which you can do that because sometimes sales go down in the DM. It does happen like that. So if you want them to message you, that's fine, but make sure you have everything ready. Don't be like, oh, I'm gonna message you. Give me a few minutes because I gotta figure out. No, just have it ready. I would definitely say you want to have it ready. So the last thing I want to touch on is the content strategy method. So the 5 steps, which we kind of touched on a little bit, but I kind of want to make it very, very clear so that you can kind of go back to this and you can kind of see what you need to do when it comes to creating content. I want y'all to be very, very clear. Is this good so far, y'all? Y'all learning something?
Yes.
Okay. Glad to hear that. So I want to see y'all's content going to the next level, stepping up a notch. Okay. This is a little racer, y'all. Bear with me. Okay. So when it comes to the content strategy, when you're sitting down, you're planning out for a new launch, these 5 steps I would say is very important. So the first step, and this is what I do whenever I'm planning my content, just to let y'all know. You set a goal. Goals are huge, especially in business. Set a goal. So are you trying to get subscribers? Are you trying to get sales? What goal are you trying to make with this content that you put out? Are you trying to just get brand awareness? What are you trying to accomplish? So set that goal from the beginning, right? So after you set the goal, I would say you need to identify your target audience. So you got the goal I want to get 20 more YouTube subscribers, right? So that's your goal, right? Now, who is your target audience? What are the groups of people that you actually want to watch your YouTube video, that you want to subscribe? Who is this product? Who is it for, right? So identify your target audience. Number 3, so we just spent 20 minutes talking about content. So number 3 is you want to create a content plan. So basically, you want to know what type of content you want to put out. Like there's a bunch of types. This could be videos, it could be pictures, what type of content do you want to put out? You want to know the scheduling of the content. How do you plan to be consistent with it? How do you plan to post it? Where do you plan to post it on? Because you don't have to be on all of the social media sites, right? You want to choose two. Choose two that you know, like you're familiar with, and you want to be very, very consistent on. I would say choose two. Number 4, you want to examine So you want to examine and you want to assess. So after you create this content plan, you're posting the content, you want to look at it very closely. You want to figure out, okay, like you want to make sure you have everything figured out and you know like where you're posting it. You look after you post it, like look at it very closely. Don't just say, oh, I made the post, that's it. Good job. No, actually go back to it. So once you go back to it, now the last step is you want to reassess, refine, and repeat. That's pretty much it. You want to reassess, look through like, okay, did I get those 20 subscribers? Did I reach my goal? Yes, no, maybe not. You want to refine, like if there's something you need to fix. So maybe you made a video and you notice like, dang, I could have made that video better. I could have had like a hook in the beginning. I could have reeled them in. I could have switched it up a little bit. So refine your approach a little bit. And then the last thing is whatever was good, whatever worked well with your strategy, do it again. Why you want to reinvent the wheel? If something worked, like do it again. Do it again for your next launch. Do it again for the other products that you're trying to put out. But definitely you want to follow this content strategy, this content marketing strategy, because this will help you kind of be more organized. And I actually have a worksheet that can kind of, help you go through this and kind of allow you to fill in the blanks. But that's the biggest thing I would say. I want y'all to be consistent with your content. I want you to be clear. I want you to know the things that you want to put out and to be confident with it. Even add your little personality to it, right? When people find me through my reels, through my videos, they're like, oh, I just liked your personality. And they're just like, okay, I'm all right. Well, let's schedule a consultation call. Let's see if I can help you with your business. Let's see if I can help you with this book that you want to put out. So the biggest thing is, I could teach you this all day, content, strategy, all of that. But guess what? You still need, it's your business. So you still want to add your own touch to it, right? So it's going to look different when Gabby posts the content as when Eric posts the content, because you're going to add their own little flavor, their own little style, and their own little personality. So be confident in your business. Be confident in who you are. Go do great things and continue to create irresistible content. And I'm done. All right.
Yeah, go ahead, teacher. If y'all are liking this right now, can I get some noise? Man, listen, man, everybody that's here, I just want to say to y'all, thank you for coming. Everybody who's watching live, we appreciate y'all so much. And definitely right now, I'm super excited to introduce, I call him the bougie goat, because that's who he is, you know what I'm saying? But man, all seriousness though, man, this dude right here that's coming up, y'all, he's about to give y'all the game. He's about to change your life. This information is going to take you, your legacy, your business to the next level. So with no further ado, I want to introduce to y'all Philip, A.K.
Thank you, Will. Thank you. I really appreciate everybody for joining me today. Today we're going to be, we're going to talk about something that's very important every business needs to do, right? Like a lot of people, right? We talk about LLC-preneurs. People get the LLC and then they're done, right? They're like, yo, I'm thinking, well, they get the LLC and they start celebrating. They start celebrating. They start clapping it up for themselves, and then they do nothing after, right? Some people just get the LLC. They start the business because it sounds cute, so they can have the entrepreneur in the bio, right? Don't be that person, right? So today, I'm going to teach you guys how to build a sales machine for your business that's going to work without you, right? Because I'm going to teach you guys how to generate consistent sales. I'm going to teach you guys how to build a sales machine for your business that's going to work without you, right? Because I'm going to teach you guys how to generate consistent sales so you can be able to grow your business, scale it, and take it to the next level, right? Because it makes no sense for you to get business funding if your business don't work. right? I say this all the time. It makes no sense for you to try to get a business line of credit if you're not going to use it to take your business to the next level. It makes no sense for you to try to fund your business if you don't know where the funding is going to go. So I'm going to break down what you can do today to build a sales machine for your business that's going to help you to consistently generate sales, right? So give me one moment, guys. I'm going to draw something for you guys so you can see something tangible.
Okay.
Right. Right. Yeah, this is kind of flimsy. So I want a quick question for everybody who's in this chat right now, right? If everything you're hearing right now so far is fire, you like what you're hearing, I want you to drop a 1 in the chat if you are watching this virtually. And if you are here right now and you are liking what you're hearing, I want you guys to make some noise. Make some noise. Right? I want you guys to make some noise. All right, so one of the biggest mistakes I've made, like early on, like about a year ago, I went viral, right? I went viral, I had this business idea, but I did not have a sales process, right? I did not have a way to collect information from my ideal audience or my potential customers. So what ended up happening was, I went viral, I got all this attention, I'm getting all these DMs, I'm getting all these questions, I'm getting all these opportunities, but I didn't have a system in place to really monetize, right? I did not have a system in place, I was left being overwhelmed, I missed out a lot of opportunities, I missed out a lot of sales, right? So now I'm just scratching my head, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know what to do, I'm missing out on a lot, all because I did not have a sales machine for my business. And some of y'all might be like, yo, what's a sales machine? What he talking about, right? And I'm gonna break that down today, right? So the first step of this sales machine you wanna do, right? You wanna have for your business, everybody should have this, and Shanique touched on it, right? And the first part of this sales machine is awareness, right? So when I went viral, right, I did all those views, I had all that engagement come, all those DMs coming, is because I created content that generated awareness, right? So the way you're gonna generate awareness is gonna be through your content, whether it's video content, you got picture content, you got maybe a carousel on Facebook, or even on Instagram, or you're doing YouTube videos, how-tos. That's gonna be the way you're gonna generate awareness. And you can do this in 2 ways. You can post it on Facebook, you can make IG posts, maybe post it on Pinterest, or if you're not somebody who likes to make content consistently, you can look at creating Facebook and Instagram ads, right? You can look at doing Google ads. You can look at, that's all ways to bring awareness, right? All y'all at a networking event right now, right? You got other entrepreneurs in the room. If you got a B2B business where you're working with other businesses, you just networking with each other is a way to create awareness, right? Going out to the community, going out and talking to people. When you go to that donut shop, maybe the owner is there, speaking to them, letting them know what you do, all that are forms of awareness, right? And that's pretty much what that is. That's the first step to the sales machine. So I generated the awareness, right? But I didn't have the rest, right? The next step of this sales machine you're gonna have is lead. And this is why I did not have. You need to have a system in place for you to be able to collect the information from your potential leads, from your potential audience, from your potential customers. You need to have a system in place. Because understand this one thing, you might be selling the product and service, but most people will not buy that product and service if they don't see you at least 7 times. Right? So if they see you one time, they just think they're looking, they're debating, they might not buy from right away, but if you don't have a system where they consistently see you, then you might not make those sales. So you want to figure out a way you can consistently be in front of their face as well as collect their data so they can become a lead. And one of the things you can do, so with awareness, I told you guys, you're gonna create content. That's for awareness, right? For the lead, you wanna have like maybe a website, a sales funnel, something where you can collect somebody's email, phone number, or in name, right? When you get these things, You're gonna be able to stay in consistent communication with them, whether that's through text message marketing, email marketing, or even picking up the phone to see how they're doing. Those are all ways you can consistently stay in contact with your lead. And that's something everybody here needs to do. You need to have a system in place like that. For me, I have a sales funnel, right? And I'm gonna write this down. Some of you guys are here right now because I had the training. It was a completely free training. But when you got into that training, you had to enter your phone number, you had to enter your name, and you had to enter your email, right? So I was collecting your data. You became a lead, right? Now I have a way to consistently stay in contact with you. Some of y'all might be receiving emails from me every day, right? You might be receiving emails from me every day. I'm not physically there writing those emails. I probably wrote those emails like 2 months ago, but I have the process automated, right? So I'm staying in consistent contact with you. So when you get to the lead, right, you collect their data, they become a prospect, right? They become a prospect. So you have a system in place. You have a system in place. When you go from awareness, they become a lead. You collect their data from a website, or whether it's exchange in cars, you collect their data, right? And now they become a prospect. At this point, you gotta figure out a way to nurture those prospects. Some of y'all might be like, what's nurturing, man? Like, I don't have no more kids. I don't even have kids. What is that, right? So nurturing is very simple. Pretty much what you're gonna do is, you're gonna stay in consistent contact with these people. I want you guys to think about Nike, right? Every time a new athlete comes out, right, and they sign a deal with Nike, Nike won't promote the athlete, but when the athlete tells their story, you'll see a lot of Nike logos in the background, right? They're nurturing you. They're building up that trust. The more you see them, the more you're going to want to buy. When you're ready to buy, you're going to see Nike, right? They're nurturing you. They're getting you ready for that purchase. So you want to put yourself in the position that you're in front of your ideal customer at the time they're ready to buy. Because they might see you today and not buy from you till a year from now. So you need to have a system in place for that. So when you go from awareness and they become a lead, and now they're a prospect, now you have options, right? So one of the things I use for like my email marketing to consistently stay in contact with people with my emails is MailChimp, right? Don't mind my handwriting because this voice is a little flimsy here. But so I use MailChimp. That's one of the things I use. So what I will also do is, so I'll write emails, maybe adding value, telling my story, or maybe giving you guys some free tips so you can really get to know me and what I have to offer. So I can start building up that trust, so you can understand who I am, what I can do for you, the results I can get for you, right? So through MailChimp, I'll automate those emails. You get emails consistently almost every day, and you'll be able to really get to know who I am. I'm nurturing you, right? Correct. Another way I'm nurturing the prospects, right, is through social media. How many people in here right now have me on social media? Nah, man. Oh, you okay? I see a few people. If you have me on social media, I want you to drop some ones in the chat. You got me on social media, right? So if you see me on social media, you're probably getting tips every day. I'm teaching you about business funding. I'm teaching you how to start your business. I'm giving you motivational things, right? I'm nurturing you. You're getting to know who I am. You're getting to know my personality. You're getting to know what I can do for you. I'm nurturing you. That's another way you can nurture your prospect. It's coming on social media and consistently giving that value. Consistently letting people know what you have to offer, giving people tips, giving them free game, getting to know my personality, getting to know what I can do for you. I'm nurturing you. That's another way you can nurture your prospect. It's coming on social media and consistently giving that value. Consistently letting people know what you have to offer, giving people tips, giving them free game, being a person of value, that go-to person, an authority figure in your industry. That's another way you're gonna do it, right? That's how you're gonna nurture your prospect. And usually after you nurture your prospect, they become a sale. They become a sale. So if you follow this formula consistently, if you go from awareness, you consistently create that content, you consistently hop on Instagram, you go on TikTok, you go on Facebook, or maybe you go to networking events, right? You're gonna build that awareness, right? You funnel them down, and now they're gonna become a lead. At that lead point, you all should be collecting data, You also be collecting the names, the phone numbers, and the emails, and when you get from there, they're gonna go into the prospect, right? Now you're gonna be nurturing them once you got that data. You're gonna be nurturing them. You might have MailChimp. You're gonna send them some emails. You might have their phone number. You're gonna call them and check up on them. Like, how are you doing? Like, is there any way I can help you? Is there any way I can serve you? Is there anything you need? You wanna consistently stay in contact with them. You wanna consistently build that relationship with them, right? And then the next thing you're gonna do, right? You're gonna go on social media. If you're somebody who creates content, consistently create content about things that is related to your industry. If you're a photographer, you might do something like 10 different angles you can shoot pictures, right? You might do something as simple as that. If you're in the beauty industry, I can do something like this: five things you can put on your skin so it can glow, right? I'm giving you things, right? Those are things you can do to nurture your ideal customer, your ideal audience. Now they're learning things they didn't know about. Like, how many people in here learn something about business funding on social media? Watch my social media. We see a few hands. If you learn anything about business funding, I want you to drop some ones in the chat right now. I want you guys to drop some ones in the chat, right? So I'm nurturing you guys. I'm teaching you guys, right, about business funding. I'm adding value. Even if I don't get the sale, at least I know that you guys learned something, right? At least I know you guys learned something that you can implement and do something to take your business to the next level. And most of the time, when people do learn something, they might not be able to buy, but they're gonna tell their friends, right? They're gonna tell my friends, oh, you need to follow him. You need to follow him. He's giving out free game. He's giving out free information. He's really trying to help. He's being real genuine, right? But of course, you want to do all these things and you want to be genuine about it, right? You want to really serve the people. Because there's a lot of people here. Let me tell you, there's a lot of people in the world of business. There's a lot of people in the world of entrepreneurship. They do these things, but they really just want the money. They really just want the money. And let me tell you guys, I say this all the time. If you are doing this for the money, like, you'll get it, but you're gonna be miserable. You'll get the money. I promise you, you'll be miserable, right? I promise you. But if you're doing it because you really want to help the people, when you see them get those results, you're gonna be satisfied. That's gonna make you want to get up every morning. That's gonna make you want to help even more people. That's gonna make you want to improve your products and services. So guys, you want to make sure, man, you're doing this for the right reasons. You're genuine about any products and services you're offering. If you're a photographer, you better make those people look beautiful. You better make those people feel confident, right? When they look at those pictures. If you got skincare line, you better make those people glow. You better make those people have, soft skin. And by the way, I'm wearing some body butter right now. I might be glowing. I'm wearing some, I don't know how to pronounce it, Amoriso body butter. So if y'all want some of that, you see me glowing here, that's why. But let me tell you guys, you want to make people's skin glow, right? Or you want, maybe you're a coach, maybe you're a consultant, you want to help people take their business to the next level. You want to make sure you're genuine and you really want to serve the people, right? And when you do those things and you have this system in place, it's always going to end up being a sale. For each customer, it might take a year for a customer, it might take right away. It might take a month for a customer, it might take 3. It might take 5 years, it might take 7. But if you consistently do this formula, sales will consistently come. Let me tell you guys, and that's how you build a sales machine for your business, right? And now that I showed you guys this, I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of something. So I'm gonna give you guys some free games, some things I do. So one of the things I do is I create sales funnels. Some of y'all have anybody in here ever heard of a sales funnel? Raise your hand if you know what a sales funnel is. And don't mind my handwriting, this thing's like real flimsy, but raise your hand if you know what a sales funnel is. Okay, I see 1 or 2 hands, all right. If you know what a sales funnel is, I want you to drop some ones in the chat. So pretty much what a sales funnel is, for those of you guys don't know, it's like a modern day website. It's not like your normal website. People land on the page and then they just start seeing like different things. They got options they can explore. It's actually with the sales funnel, when you hop on the page, you just end up being on just one page. It walks the customer through a journey, right? You basically take control of where they go. Long story short, it walks them through a journey from the moment they land on your page to sale. Right? On these funnels, what will happen is you might see a video on top. So how many people bought a ticket and they landed on a funnel, a one-page funnel that had a video on top? Pretty much everybody, right? So if you bought a ticket, get in the chat. Why don't you drop some ones in the chat, right? And after under this video, during this video, you might see me explain exactly what you're getting in under 2 minutes. How many people watched the video when they got in the funnel? Oh, we got 1, 2 people, 3 people. Some people don't. So the reason why you would want to have a video is for your visual people. For your people who don't like reading. They just want to see. Like, just tell me about it. I don't want to read or do none of that extra. But how many of you guys like reading? You guys like reading? You got people. Drop some ones in the chat if you like reading. So we have a few people that like reading, right? So on top of doing the video, you're gonna reiterate the same thing in writing. You're gonna let your customer know exactly what they're getting in writing for those people who like to read. And at the end of the funnel, usually you'll see a button that says, yes, I want to purchase a thing. How many people seen that button when they came to that page? Right? And when you click the button, it takes you right to the checkout page. Right? And that's what a sales funnel is, right? It'll walk your customers on a journey from the moment they land to your page to sale. And one of the things that the reason why I'm bringing this up is for a lot of people don't know about sales funnel, but this right here can allow you to generate sales in your sleep, right? You don't need a sales team when you have a sales funnel. I can spell everything out in video. I can spell everything out with a picture, with writing, and then run ads and send people to this one page. And it's gonna consistently sell for me because it's gonna show people exactly what I'm offering and what they need. But I'm not gonna get too much into the offer because my boy Will, he's gonna break that down for you guys today. He's gonna break that down for you guys today. But that's pretty much what a sales funnel is. And this is how you build a sales machine for your business. You want to have a sales process. You want to have from awareness. We said awareness, and then we said you want to have the lead, collect their data, and then from there you got the prospect, and then they end up being a sale. And that whole process there in itself is a funnel, right? And when you have this page, when they're ready for the sale and they have everything spelled out on it, that's when you end up getting your sale. So that's pretty much my process, guys. And I'm gonna keep this very short. I'm gonna be done in a few seconds. But I want you guys to understand, you gotta have a sales process for your business. Like another thing I'm seeing people do that I've done early on is use their cash apps. Who in here is guilty of using your cash app? Can I see some hands? Can I see some hands right now? Who use their cash app to take payments? Oh man, your boy put you on blast. But if you're in this chat right now, if you use your cash app to take payments, it's okay, it's all good. We all been there. We all done that, right? I see a lot of people do that, and that's one of the things you want to stop today. If you use Cash App, I recommend you use a software like PayPal, you use a software like Stripe, or you even use a software, you got like QuickBooks where you can do invoicing. You have all these different softwares you can use to be able to accept payments. And not only that, with these softwares, they will extend to you funding. They'll give you funding if they see consistent payments coming through to your bank account that you're using with their system. So you want to make sure you stop using the cash apps, you start invoicing, or you start, sending payment links where people could put their credit card information. We want to move more professionally. How many people got asked for their cash app when they was purchasing a ticket to come here? Nobody, right? But wouldn't you have looked at me crazy if I went into your DMs and just said, send me your cash app? You would have looked at me crazy like, I don't know, man. I don't know if this is a legit event. You probably trying to steal my money. You would have looked at me crazy, right? But because I had the website, I had the sales funnel that spelled out everything you was going to get, what the schedule was, and how to purchase, it was easy for you to make that purchase, right? It made it a lot easier. You trusted me more. correct? So you want to make sure, guys, you have some type of sales system in place. You use Stripe. All these platforms are free. They just take a fee. And Cash App does the same thing. So you might as well do it professionally. And at the end of the day, this could put you in a position where you can't get funding. You can get working capital loans. That's what they call it from these places: PayPal, Stripe, QuickBooks. Like, you can get these type of funding. So you want to make sure you guys switch it up. But this is how you guys build a sales machine for your business. I'm going to reiterate it one more time before I close. You want to build awareness, so you're going to do something. You're going to have some type of content, whether it's on Instagram, it's on social media, it's on YouTube, whether you have a podcast or you're running ads. You want to have some type of content for your business where you're consistently building that awareness, whether you're going to that networking event. Then you're going to have some type of way of collecting data, whether that's a website, right? A website that's going to collect people's data. Maybe I might have a thing like, one of the things that some people might have here today is I have this one product, right? A digital product showing you how to turn your side hustle to legitimate business, and it's completely free. But when you get this product, you have to put your name, email, and phone number in there, right? Correct? You gotta put your name, email, and phone number in there, because what's gonna happen is I'm gonna consistently stay in contact with you. I'm gonna consistently give you tips in your email. I might send you some text messages, and you're gonna consistently see me like Nike, right? You're gonna consistently see my face, so you're ready to buy whatever it is that I'm offering. And most of the time, I want you to understand, right? If you're gonna sell to people, make sure you have a product that works. Make sure you have something of value that's gonna help those people get from their pain to a remedy. So make sure you're gonna have something that's gonna get people from their problem to a solution. Don't just be out here just selling people's products because you know how to sell, and then it's not helpful. You get what I'm saying? So you want to make sure you guys have some integrity with this, right? So once you're a lead, I'm going to offer you some products that's going to help you get from pain to remedy. That's going to help you to get from problem to solution. I'm going to give you some type of product. I might even just not even give you a product. I might not even pitch anything to you. I might just give you a couple tips, like 5 things you can do right now to start your business, or to launch your business, or to even create like some content. I might give you some tips and not even ask for nothing. But the whole point is, while you're a prospect, you're my ideal audience, you're an entrepreneur, I'm going to stay in consistent contact with you. I'm going to build that relationship with you. I'm going to build that community with you, right? And I'm going to help you get from problem to solution. And then eventually, if I do offer a product, you will see what I have to offer. You will know what my expertise is, and you wouldn't mind buying anything from me. You become that sale. And that's how you build a sales machine for your business. And I'm done. So we're gonna have one more person come up. We got Will. He's a 9-to-5 coach, helping entrepreneurs quit their 9-to-5s and be full-time entrepreneurs. Man, he's gonna break down. I broke down the sales process. He's gonna break down how exactly you can create an offer that's gonna generate sales. And let me tell you guys, this man, he helped me a lot in my business early on. If I didn't connect with him, you guys probably would never see me. I wouldn't be making any content. Let me tell you guys, you wouldn't even know I existed. So let me tell you, but I want you guys to welcome Will. He's gonna come up right now. I want you guys to make some noise.
I don't need this whiteboard though. How y'all feeling? Good. Do y'all feel like y'all got a lot of information so far? Yeah. Do y'all feel like when you get out of here, you can literally build a 5-figure, 6-figure business? Oh, come on, y'all don't sound like, I don't believe it. Do y'all feel like you can build a 5- and 6-figure business? Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. I don't want this whiteboard. I'm not a teacher like Shanine and Phil, so I'm gonna move this. You know, I got ADHD, so I'm gonna be all over the place. I'll put that right here. Yeah. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna teach y'all how to build a 5-figure business organically. How's that sound? Sound good? Okay, cool. So the first thing that I want to say to y'all is this, right? So there was a particular video that I watched on a great mentor to many mentors, to Michael Jordan, to Kobe Bryant. His name is Tim Grover. And he talked about how when he was going to leave his home to go do a speaking engagement, that his daughter came into the room. And when his daughter came into the room, she said, "Dad, why do you have to leave?" And he simply replied to the daughter, he said, "Daughter, I have to leave because Daddy has to put food on the table for y'all." And his daughter said, Daddy, if I eat less, oh, y'all didn't just catch what I just said. If I eat less, will you stay? Y'all got to catch this. Like, when I got on the plane and when I came from Washington State to Miami, I said, yo, if I'm getting on the plane, then I got to make it count. Yeah. There's no questions about it. Like, my daughter's counting on me. Like, I was just sitting back there, and my wife was like, yo, babe, your Harmony wants to talk to you before you get on the stage. I said, baby, I'm going to hit her up as soon as I'm done. Because I don't do this for me. I do this for my legacy. I want my kids' grandkids to be set for life. And we're so more focused in our community on what size Jordan are those? Instead of asking people like, what's your credit score? What's your bank account look like? And I'm not tripping because I need y'all to understand this, right? When your family is your why, you have no choice but to stay consistent. When I got on that plane, I'm like, yo, I'm not coming with me. I felt like Harriet Tubman, dog. I'm like, oh, we coming through the Underground Railroad, the Up Railroad. But I know that when I get here in Miami, I'm bringing some more people to make 5 figures or 6 figures. We ain't come here to play. They gave you everything that you need to take your business, your legacy to the next level. This ain't no game, y'all. I tell people all the time, right? Like, we was on live yesterday, right, with the squad. And I told people, I'm like, yo, if I got to convince you to pay $97, $47 to change your life, you tripping. I shouldn't have to do that. The value that they just gave is thousands. Easy. But what we have to understand, right, is that when we really want to grow a business, we first have to understand how to be consistent. Because some people are not consistent long enough. They say it's 21 days, right, to create a habit. Anything after that now becomes a lifestyle. I don't wear this just to wear this. This is applying pressure. Now, I know I got to change to 2022. That's what we're going to do for sure. That's what we're making. But I want people to understand that you need to apply pressure for your legacy. You need to apply pressure for your kids. You need to apply pressure for the God that you serve. Y'all got to understand who you are and what you possess. There's people out here who are not even doing what you do on the level that you do it, and you trip and talk about, I don't want to post no content. The world needs your voice. The world needs what you got. And you over here tripping about, I don't know what my Uncle Ray Ray going to say. Forget Uncle Ray Ray. He don't pay your bills. He ain't going to change your kid's legacy. You are. The second thing I want to talk about, there was this story that I read, this article, and in the article, it talked about Atlantis. And it talked about that there was this man that was going on a flight to the Bahamas, and as the flight was descending, he seen this island. And this island was called Hog Island. And they said when he landed, he asked the people in the meeting, he said specifically, he said, hey, what about that island? Like, how much does it cost? What is that? They said, oh, it's about like, $1.3 million. He said, I'll buy it. Why am I saying this to y'all? Because some of y'all look at your Facebook and your Instagram as Hog Island. Can't nothing come out of this. The man took a Hog Island, an island full of a bunch of garbage, and turned it into what we travel to now, Atlantis. Listen to me. This is why you got to get around people who don't operate by sight, but operate by vision. See, people who operate by sight are foreign to the language of vision. So when you get around people who say, yo, I'm about to invest in this Airbnb business, you got to get around people like, yo, how do I get into it? Not people be like, ooh, I don't know about that. Wilder just gave you the play. You don't have to use your own money to do that. You can get an LLC for Airbnb. You can get an LLC for truck. You can get an LLC for anything and cash out. One thing that I understand, y'all, is I need you to understand. I need you to hear me, right? The reason why most people will never be able to hit 5 to 6 figures or 7 figures is not because, right, of their mentality. It's just because that they're not consistent enough. If Phil wasn't consistent, Charles, Shanine, Wilder, the videographer, the photographer, if they wasn't consistent, we would have never been here right now. Consistency got us here. You have to see it before you see it. Before I jumped on the flight to Cancun, Mexico with my wife, I said, yo, I already see us buying the ticket. I already see myself in aqua clear blue water. I already see people bringing me pineapples. We already there. Now my mind got to catch up. So, you ready? We're going to build a 5-figure business right now. You ready? Number 1, this is what I call the avatar statement. I help to do so that. Let's not make this deep. I help to do so that. So that would look like, and I love how Shanine talked about it, right? In regards to like, there's two types of people. There's the first person who's always like, I do credit for everybody. If I said I do credit for everybody, you'd be like, everybody doing credit. But now if I said to you, I help newlyweds with a 580 credit score to land their dream home, you're like, talk to me, Will. Then there's another two, right? I help speakers. Okay, there's other people helping speakers. What speakers do you help? But if I said to you, I help youth pastors to land 5-figure speaking contracts in Christian university, you'd be like, talk to me, Will. Understand this, write this down. Don't forget this gem. The bag is in the message. When the message is clear, your bank account will look clear too. When the message is clear, your bank account will look clear. Right? So that messaging piece is what I tell people. Now, here's how we're going to unpack this right here. Now, understand this. Each point of the message, what you can do is now create products around it. So now you say, okay, let's do a webinar. We'll do a 2-hour webinar teaching youth pastors how to land a 5-figure contract. We won't charge them anything for the webinar. Here's the problem with most people. You don't give your gift away, but you want people to pay you. How are people going to know you, and how are people going to flow you if they can't find you? So when you do the webinar, you do a 1-hour webinar, and you just give game. Give it away. Give it away. Because here's why I do that. Because half the people don't execute. So the gems are still with you, right? So now you do this webinar, and at the end of the webinar, you have an offer. And the offer can be really simple. The offer can be like, hey, 90-day coaching program. You get 2 calls with me a month, 45 minutes to an hour. We'll help you to be able to set up your email campaigns. We'll help you to be able to set up your automation business. And now you're like, talk to me, because I don't have to do no work like that, right? When the offer is clear, your money will be clear. Am I making sense here? Am I talking good? Phil, can you grab me some water, bro? I'm kind of dehydrated over here. Oh, I think it's that Miami heat. So after that, right, now the reason why I tell people and I suggest people to do a webinar is because the webinar is the quickest way to get people in the room. If I asked y'all right now, what is the best place to put a hot dog stand, what would you say to me? Where people are hungry. Think about it. Raise your hand if you ever been to the mall. How many times do you see the Asians come up to you? And they forceful. Are this teriyaki chicken? Free sample. I don't want it. Try. No, I don't want it. Try is good. Right? You eat it, you like, ooh, they put the Holy Ghost on this chicken. This is good. Right? You eat the chicken, you like, oh man, this is good. They go $3.99, $5.99. They just upsold you without even you understanding. They gave it away, and they had you pay for the meal. Likewise with your content. You give it away, free sample, and then you upsell them. Oh, y'all didn't just kick. Y'all picking up what I putting down? I think I should stop. I don't think that. Should I stop? You sure? Yeah, you feel me, bro? Like, right? I'll take my bro for an example, right? Videographer. He can literally run a webinar, how to be able to make 6 figures in 30 days or less using your own camera. You feel me? Right? Shanine can easily do this, right? How to write your book in 2 weeks or less and fire your publisher. Talk to me. When the title is sweet, people will buy. Y'all tripping in here. Now I'm gonna give you a play. And now this is a side note. I'm gonna give you a play for your kids. Anybody got kids in here? You got kids? Okay, cool. I'm gonna give you a good play. Okay? You can't give this away though. This is only for y'all. Okay, here's the play. I want you to go tonight, because success loves speed. I want you to do it tonight. Go on GoDaddy, buy a domain that says happy birthday, your child's name. So for example, it would say happybirthdayharmony.com. Now from there, I want you to be able to create, like what Phil said, a simple one-pager. Sales funnel, right? You can use ClickFunnels, right? ClickFunnels, Katra, Kajabi, there's a bunch, Samcart, there's a bunch of them, right? But what I want you to do is I want you to create that page with the domain. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I want you to launch it on your child's birthday. Why is this important? Because one, people don't say no to kids. If a kid came up to you right now, child, and said, hey, Mr. Child, would you buy my cookies? What would you say? If a kid came up to you and said, hey, man, can you buy my wristband? What would you say? Now, if a grown-up came to you, you'd be like, nah, you need to get your own bread. I ain't buying that wrist. You tripping, right? Right? And this is why it's so important, because now, literally, you can start collecting the pre-orders. You don't even have to have it done yet. You just need the page done. And now you literally, now here's another game. You text everybody in your phone. Before you even get on social media, you text everybody on your phone. Hey, hey, Phil, I just wanted to let you know Harmony's releasing her first book for her 4-year-old birthday, and I would like to see if you'd be the first to support. We only have 40 copies. Then you want to go to Fiverr, right? Get a simple like book cover done, and then you want to take that book cover, also put it within the text, and then send a payment link. No Cash App. Stripe, PayPal, Square, I don't care what you use, but do not use Cash App. Okay? Yep. And now from there, you reach everybody in your phone, you send that simple message. Sales stop coming in. You didn't even finish the book yet. Pre-order is the new credit. You leverage other people's money, get the book done, and then all you gotta do is ship it out. Now you just set up something for your kid. Now here's the beautiful thing. Once you buy the domain, it's yours. You own it. I had somebody come to me, I think I told Shanine or Phil, somebody. I had somebody come up to me, they was in my DM, they were like, yo, people keep using my logo. I'm like, it's not your logo, it's not trademark. Is it trademark? No, it's not, and it's not yours. And what people need to understand too, is that you need to have an owner's agreement when you do a logo with anybody. Here's why, because if the person dies, that money goes to their kids. They can come back and literally take that money from you. You didn't notice, did you? This is vital. Ownership is the new currency. We own. We must own. Right? So, I wanted to throw that quick hack in there. Now, I'm going to give you some more game. Instagram. I want everybody to utilize Instagram and Facebook stories. And the reason why I want you to do this is because people are more focused, especially black folk. We so nosy. Let me ask y'all this. When you first wake up, do you scroll or do you click the stories? I need some people. What do you do? You scroll? Scroll? What you do? Story? You do both? All right, so let's just say this. More people are going to be prone to watch your stories than to actually like your post. Which means where you need to go where the attention is. Because if they don't know you, they can't flow you. So wouldn't it make sense to be in your stories? Now here's the hack. 5 to 7 stories. Make sure the first 4 stories are engaging. It can be simple questions like, do you like pizza or chicken? Do you like Popeyes or do you like KFC? Why are you doing that? Because now you're building up anticipation. Now what Facebook and Instagram do, they say, hey, there's a party over here, because the algorithm is identifying that people are engaging. It's called social media. Another hack, whenever somebody comments on your post, please comment back. Because again, just how they move the stories. So say for instance, right, you see 50 people who have stories, literally Instagram and Facebook will move you into the top 3 or top 5 of the people who are following you. Now you're in front of their face. The same thing when people comment. Comments are a form of currency. Questions are a form of currency. If people are asking you questions, that means you have a business. Otherwise, they would have never asked you. How many times people ask you questions about videography?
All day.
You can create a digital product, ebook. Simple, like Phil was talking about. Sell it, make money in your sleep. And inside the ebook, you can upsell them on a high ticket program. And you can literally sell it for $5K. $5K, bro. Get them in there. You coach 3 people, 5 people, whatever you want to coach, 10 people, jump on a Zoom call. Don't take that much energy. You got them all in there. They paid you the bread. Teach them what you know. Teach people what you know. It's the quickest way to make money. So when you're commenting, make sure you respond back. Don't be like, oh, yo, thank you. Be like, how did this post make you feel? What made you like this post? Do you have kids that you do stuff for a legacy for? The purpose is to continue to spark up conversation. Conversation leads to contracts, and contracts lead to generate currency, right? So there's another play that I'm going to give y'all. There's these pages on Instagram that are called. You can pay influencers to post your product. Now think about it this way: you hit up 3 people who charge $25, $50 for a post, but they have an audience of about, I want to say, let's just say 1 million people. Is it worth it? You literally pay them $50, they'll leave your post up for a day. Now, the way you post it has to be key. Have you ever seen a newspaper? How strategic they are? Fatal car crash in Texas, kills 25 kids. You're like, oh, you got my attention. Imagine this, right? 7-year-old opens up their first t-shirt business and generates 6 figures. You got my attention. The videographer was homeless and now teaches other videographers how to be able to launch, grow, and scale their videography business. You do the same thing. Why? Because you're going to capture people's attention. Shanine was talking about the reels. You can utilize the reels, right? And you can post a reel on their page. Now, here's where most people go wrong. You're posting content without a CTA, call to action. Everything you do should be called to action. I don't care if it's, hey, drop a fire emoji if you thought this content was fire. I don't care if it's like, hey, DM me the word impact to be able to get more exclusive offers, right? Why? Because we can't just assume people are going to click the link in your bio, right? How many times do people click the link in my bio? Click the link in my bio, click the link. Everybody doing click the link in my bio. Do something different, right? Text me, right? So by you doing this, what you're doing, you're putting yourself in a better position to make more money, have more visibility. My mentor told me this: a business without leads is not a business. And that's what most people's problem is. They don't have leads, they don't have attention. But the quickest way to get attention is to jump on trending things that are trending, remix it into your own purpose, and put it out there. The second way is to pay for attention. You get that attention, right, through these pages. And you pay these people. And there's tons of them. Literally, there's tons of them. My lying, Phil?
For sure, I blew up a salon just doing that.
You see what I'm saying? It's 6 figures, right?
For sure.
Easy. In a what?
Under a year.
In under a year. Leverage other people's platforms. They have the leverage, and you don't know. You think everybody that's following that person really likes what they do? Some people just nosy. Some people follow me, but they love Phil's content. Some people may follow Phil, they love Shanine's content or Will's content. Here's what you need to understand. Followers don't mean nothing if they don't purchase. Or they don't support. So the best way to do this, right, is to understand you need to build a tribe. The best way to do this and to understand is that when you're able to put yourself in a position to where people can identify what you do, on your Instagram, your bio should be super clear. Super clear. It should say what you do, how you do it, and how you help somebody else, and then have a call to action in the link in the bio. Am I making sense? I don't think that's Am I making sense?
Yes.
Is this good?
Yes.
I don't want to bore you. If I'm boring you, I go sit down. You go? You good? Right? So, and the last thing that I want y'all to do, and I'm done, right? Because I'm hungry, bro. I'm stopping. I'll touch it, right? Right? Huh? Always hungry, right? So, the last thing that I want you to understand, and I got to reiterate this, right? I've given you all the game that you can literally take, and they've given you the game well over, that you can take and implement today. Somebody say today.
Today.
Not tomorrow, not next year. Today. Who's going to buy the domain name? And even if you don't use it yet, just secure it. Just have it in the bag. Because people don't say no to kids. That's what I'm doing for my daughter. We're going to write a book, and we're going to sell it on her birthday, her 4th birthday, and we're going to run the bag. Now that money can go into my daughter's account. We're tripping. When people come to me and say, I need money to make money, no, you need creativity to make money.
That's it.
We're tripping over here. So what I want you to understand is that if you're not going to be consistent, then don't be in business. Because some of y'all want this business funding and this and that, but some of y'all ain't gonna be consistent enough to pay people back. How you want somebody to pay your invoice and you owe them? You want people to pay you, but you haven't paid nobody's invoice yet? But you want to run the bag up. I call you an LLC-preneur. Somebody just happy that they got their LLC, woo! You don't even got your DUNS number. Your EIN, you ain't got none of that. You just amped. You like, yo, I'm an LLC. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll LLC. That's cute. That's real cute. But the purpose of you getting an LLC is to generate, not for it to collect dust. What I want you to understand today is that don't be the person who has a notepad full of gems and a pocket full of wind. That's the worst place to be. Yo, Phil dropped the gems. Did you implement it? Yo, Shanique went heavy on the content. I know she did, but did you implement it? Oh, Wilder went heavy on the LLC, but did you implement? The purpose of information is to implement and take you to the next level. It's not deep. The difference between those who are average and those who are great is just the information that they know. Your account is a reflection of what you know. If your business is not growing, it's a reflection of what you know. So there's no way nobody in here can leave here and not make no bread and run the bag up. So I want you to repeat after me. Can we stand up? I just want you to repeat after me. I need some energy. I need some energy. All right? Say, and I want y'all to declare this with me. I want y'all to speak this, right? I want y'all to feel this in your soul, right? Say, I will. I will. I can. I can. I must. I must. I will. I will. I can. I can. I must. I must. My family. My family deserves better. Deserves better. My grandchildren. My grandchildren deserve better. Deserve better. My great grandkids deserve better. Deserve better. I will not be average. I will not settle. I deserve the best and nothing less. Come on. I deserve the best and nothing less. Come on. I deserve the best and nothing less. I will live not just to exist, but I will live to be remembered. Applying pressure. Applying pressure. Applying pressure. For my kids, you what? For your kids, you what?
Apply pressure.
For your kids, you what?
Apply pressure.
For your wife, you what?
Apply pressure.
For your husband, you what?
Apply pressure.
For your business, you what?
Apply pressure.
We don't settle over here. We want the best. Let's go.
Okay, man. If everything you're hearing tonight was fire, I want y'all to just, make some noise. Y'all are loving this conference right now. I want y'all to make some more noise. So me and my team decided to do something special for everybody that's here in person. So I want you guys to hang tight. We're gonna do a Q&A. We're gonna answer any questions you guys have specifically for your businesses. And can someone start getting these chairs up here? But yeah, so that's what we're gonna do, guys. So y'all can just sit down and relax. We're gonna give y'all a 5-minute break. We'll get started. For everybody who joined virtually, everything's gonna come to an end right now. We really thank you guys for coming, and stay blessed. So we will see you guys soon, and you can cut the virtual part, but thank you guys for coming. Thanks you guys for coming.
Yep. Hi everyone, my name is Candace. I am the CEO of Candy Snaps Photography. I am here joining the 9 to 5 CEOs on their conference. I am loving the gems that's being dropped. Everyone's super helpful. I'm definitely about to elevate my business to the next level thanks to all of the information I've received here. If you're not following the 9 to 5 CEOs, definitely do it so you can scale your business, you can elevate your business. They are dropping gems. Definitely follow them. I'm loving everything about this conference. So you want me to do the whole thing over again?
I want you to be excited.
I thought I was excited. Okay. So, hey everyone, my name is Candace. I'm the CEO of Candy Snaps Photography. I am here at the 9 to 5 CEO conference in Miami, Florida. We are having a blast. We are getting good knowledge. I'm gonna scale my business to the next level because of all of the gems I am receiving here today. The knowledge is powerful only if you implement it. So if
What's up,
you're
guys?
here, if you're
My name
watching,
is
if you're
Favor.
not following the 9 to 5
owner of
CEOs,
Favor
definitely
Photography
do
Works.
so. You don't want to
And
miss
this
it. You
was
want to
awesome.
scale your
It was an
business
awesome
to the
event.
next
If you
level.
guys weren't here, you
Definitely
missed out.
follow
Please
these guys.
buy
We
your
are having a
tickets,
blast
Get
here.
ready to go to the next event. I think
Enough
it's coming
energy.
to Atlanta, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you. What's up, guys? My name is Favor. I'm known as Soktochi. It was nice. This event was awesome. Learned a lot. They dropped a lot of knowledge. There's a lot to do, and we just got to keep consistent, do the work, and we got to do our parts. You know, we're the future business owners of the world. So keep updated. Make sure you attend the next event. I think it's coming to Atlanta, and awesome. See you next time.
Hey guys, I'm Sterling Jr., CEO of the Sterling Studies. And man, if you were not here, even on a Saturday, like, you missed out. Sorry, bros. I mean, from gems, donuts, and even a lot of great advice. I mean, it was worth it. So definitely, hopefully you guys can come to the next one. And have a great day.
This after show, we are gonna do a Q&A for everybody that's in here right now. You guys will have the opportunity to ask any of us any question pertaining to like getting started in your business, legitimizing your business, or maybe even creating content or generating consistent sales, business credit and funding, even some general tax information, little things like that. You can ask anything right now. You can even ask things about like hiring people, because I know some people want to build a team, they want to hire people. So that's something you can also ask as well. And so let them questions, get them started.
Queens first. Sorry, fellas. Queens first.
How do you, if anyone has like a text message to market your business and everything, how do you do that?
Ask again.
How do you market your business through text message? Like what apps do you use and how do you get the concept from the people?
So for me, I use Simple Text. I don't know if you heard about Simple Text. It's like $25 per month. They'll allow you to send up to it starts at $25 per month, and you can send the text out up to 500 times every month. And those credits, you get like 500 credits. You can send a text out 500 times, and those credits roll over as well. So if you only send like 20 texts, you can use all those credits that you didn't use for the next month. So I use Simple Text. That's a dope one. So when you have your leads and you have that website where you're collecting the information, their phone numbers, you can just enroll them into that system and figure out a way you can consistently add value to them. Like if you are let me see the other mic. Hold on, guys. So if you guys are a photographer, if you're a photographer or something, you can do things like 5 things you can do to shoot great picture content for your business, and send that through text message. You can send them a link to like maybe a 1-page like case study, anything. Like you just want to consistently add value once you do get that text message send marketing software. And something I also use it for, like when I do trainings, I use it for reminders. Like it might send you a reminder like a day ahead of time before the training, an hour ahead of time before the training, and 5 minutes ahead of time before the training, so you remember to join the training. So that's one of the things I also use the text message marketing software for. And another one people use is Twilio. But Twilio, you have to really have a legit business for them to even do business with you. They wouldn't even allow you to purchase anything from them if you don't even have a business email. But Twilio is another one. Like, so if you have ClickFunnels, if you use ClickFunnels, you need Twilio to kind of like connect it to your funnel and kind of like automate the whole process with text message marketing. But those are two places I use: Simple Text and Twilio. Two different places.
Fire. What else you got? Go ahead.
I have something to add to that too.
Go ahead.
I would also say Klaviyo. KLAYVIO. So I really like using them because it's actually free up until your first 500 contacts. And so they also have email marketing as well. So I connected my Shopify to it, and so they have they can capture your email and text message simultaneously when they checking out. If they start checkout and they don't finish, I can have them shoot a text message like, hey, your cart is still here. Do you want to complete this purchase? And then it comes with different things already preset that you can just automate basically. You can just look through them and see, does this fit you or the people that you're serving, and then you can go ahead and just set it up that way. I would say that I would prefer to have a text message platform that allows me to have you can just click the link and it takes them straight there instead of saying text this number, text a CEO to whatever number, because it just makes it easier to just say click the bio and it takes them straight to their text messages. So I'm still searching for something more like that, but definitely Klaviyo has been great for me, so I recommend it.
I'm jealous. You never told me about that.
Right?
Oh,
I thought
Everybody come out their bag when we hit. Okay. I see what we doing. All right.
I thought y'all liked the way y'all was using shit.
Free is for me. If I can, I gotta cut some expenses, man.
Them subscriptions add up.
Yeah, they do.
man.
They do. Yeah, that's facts.
Like $1,000.
Go ahead, Gabby. What's your next question?
Okay. So you come up with an idea, but now you see other people with the same idea. How do you change your mindset to still have that drive?
Ooh, wait, hold on. Let me say this.
Oh yeah, I got something after
Listen.
y'all. I think we all had it.
Listen.
Somebody saw the Queens.
Oh, when was the last time you went to the grocery store?
Called the will analogy. The will analogy.
Last week.
Okay, you went to the grocery store last week. I'm sure every aisle that you went in had at least 2 of the same product. Whether it was bread, toilet paper, cleaning supplies, each brand. We're talking about target audience, being intentional. Like those brands show up regardless if the next brand next to them is there, regardless. Like it doesn't matter. Whoever's for you will be for you, and they will purchase what you are selling regardless. Like you just have to have a combination of all of the things that we talked about today, and people will buy into it regardless. Like there's room for everybody, literally, because your vision, your execution, your content, your story is different from anybody else's. You're unique, and so you can definitely make room for yourself.
Hey, Queen, I'm just gonna say it to you. I'm gonna be quick. I'm hungry, and we all hungry. But let me say this to you, right? Just because somebody posts an idea or a product doesn't mean it's effective. Anybody can post anything, but it doesn't mean it brings forth transformation. So as long as you know you're bringing forth transformation, that's the game changer for you. Okay, Queen?
Yeah, I just want to say this one thing. Who been to Walgreens before?
I know I have.
Everybody been to Walgreens? Isn't there a CVS across from every Walgreens?
And there's a McDonald's by every
and they both make billions of dollars every year. So it doesn't matter what the next person does. It really just matters like what are you gonna do differently? Yeah. And one of the things you can do differently is be yourself, because there's nobody like you.
Ooh.
Boom.
That's why I got
That boy talking.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. You're unique. It doesn't matter if 80 people are doing it. I guarantee you, if 80 people have their own uniqueness to them, and they're marketing their way, not anyone else's way. So anything you do, and people are always gonna tell you it's a saturated market. Like Will just said, you go to the grocery store, you see a bunch of the same breads, same type of chips, right? How about this? What about going to JCPenney? How many pairs of jeans are different, right? How many pairs of polos are there? Different brands, and they all still sell, and they all still make money. So they're all unique in their own way, right? So it doesn't matter how saturated your market is. What are you bringing? Are you bringing you to the table? If you're bringing you to the table, we want to be at that table because people are going to buy from you, right? As long as you're you, as long as you are you.
Oh.
Yes, I will also add, you have to be confident as well. People can pick up and they can tell, like when you're like, this product may work, that they can kind of catch your vibe. So you gotta be your biggest salesperson when it comes to your business, right? You gotta be your biggest cheerleader. You gotta like amp that thing up. Like, what? Y'all ain't get that yet? You missing out. Like you gotta really sell it because people can pick up and be like, oh well, maybe I should try it, you know, and even showing some proof. Like, even if you have 5 sales, okay, reach out to those 5 people that purchased and really get some feedback from them and show some social proof, I would say. So allow them to post it, you know, on their page, you know, be like, okay, please shout it out, tag me and stuff like that, so people can see like, oh, people actually purchased this thing, and then you'll notice to see your sales will start to increase, right? That's another form of content marketing, right? Because people, they want to see like, is this legit? Like, did you actually purchase, but did they actually get their product? There's a whole bunch of scams out here, right? So you want to really be confident and be your biggest cheerleader and give them some social proof, maybe that's just what they need. But at the end of the day, you know your stuff is thebomb.com, then believe in it and just be confident.
Let me say one more thing. Also, let's say you go to the grocery store and there's 2 different types of bread, right? And one of them is raisin bread and the other one is white bread, right? You probably never had raisin bread before, but you might be increasing your taste palette. And you say, I'm gonna try raisin bread today. But if you didn't see it, you probably wouldn't have made the decision to try it. So you have to be willing to show up so that you can give people an opportunity to try, because there are people out there that are willing to try new things or try new products, try new business owners, but they have to actually see it in order for them to even get to that point.
Yep. Next question, come on, keep them coming. Like, we out here, man.
You want to let the men go?
Yeah.
You got a question?
When it comes to family, how do you, when it comes to family, how do you extend the business or more so the idea towards your family, maybe your brothers and sisters or your kids in the future? How do you make that a process?
Alright, so I would say like have SOPs. That stands for standard operating procedures. Like everything you do should be documented.
Yep.
Like if you invest in stocks, right? Like create videos, like how do you do it, right? Keep that for your family so they can learn, especially for the kids as they get older. One of the things I do for my daughter when I'm trading stocks, investing in stocks, or things like that, I show her. I'll let her watch me do it. I'll take some money from her, like, hey, give me $5, and she'll watch it go up to 20, she'll be excited. Like, get them to be interested in that. While I'm renting one of my units, right, to a tenant, I'll bring my daughter along. I'll bring some family members along. I'll show them the process. This is how you rent your property to somebody. You're gonna do the showing. This is all the contracts you need, and this is how you onboard them, right? This is all the contracts you need signed. Like I give them the whole game. I give them exposure. You gotta expose your family to it. You gotta show them. You can't just be out here grinding and doing all of that and not showing your family, because you can build all the wealth in the world, but if they don't know what to do with it, they're gonna sell it. And that's something that happened to my family. Like my grandfather, he was a multi-millionaire, but none of his kids knew how to run his businesses, so they sold everything.
Wow.
So you want to make sure you give them that exposure.
My grandpa too, right?
I agree. Exposure is probably the best thing, because they don't understand, right? A lot of times they won't understand until they see, right? But what's that saying they always say? Proof is in the pudding, right? Proof is in the pudding. So they're gonna have to see it. You have to show them. Have to think that you can show them tangibly that, hey, I'm growing. You know, when I first started both of my businesses back in 2018, it was probably a questionable decision. But at that time, you know, God told me to do it and I followed him. And, you know, when my wife, my mom, even my daughter, wife will tell you, one of the biggest supporters of that little girl. That little girl sees and watches everything. And her and my mom are like the same person. But my mom is one of my biggest supporters as well. And those two, they saw that the young people's lives are being changed by what we were doing. How many people that weren't thinking about college, that are not thinking about college? You know, a lot of kids that didn't think they were smart, now feel they're intelligent. And my mom was meeting these kids. My daughter would meet these kids, wife would meet these kids. So now they're saying, man, this could actually work. And I started with a little room in my church doing mentoring and tutoring, right? Now we have a space that costs us $1,900 a month, right? That's in a 3-year span. Wow. So the proof is in the pudding, but you have to expose them and show them, right? And show like, hey, I'm growing. Hey, I'm growing. They might not want to hear it, but they're gonna learn something new every time you talk to them, right? Something new's gonna come out your mouth every time you talk to them.
I would say that it's important to include your family to avoid burnout and to feel like you're not supported. I would say that in the beginning, I thought that I could just make my plans for my business on a day-to-day and not include like my boyfriend or like my mom, my sisters and stuff like that. And they would just understand my frustrations, or they would understand why I feel like I'm not being supported. But in reality, they don't know what I'm doing on a daily basis. So they probably just thinking I'm, up to nothing or whatever the case may be. And so I had to learn to communicate with them. I would say that's very important. And also I would say, let's say you have a cousin, right? Since you do photography, let's say you have a cousin that works at McDonald's, right? Maybe it might be a good opportunity for you to not focus on edits, because I know a lot of photographers would prefer not to do edits, or it's time consuming, right? So maybe you could teach a cousin that works at McDonald's how to do edits for you. So now you have an editor that you can pay, probably less than someone else that you just meet, on the streets. And you can then put him in position, put yourself in position to not have to do everything, give you more time to focus on more shoots and different things like that. You'll be able to get out your edits at a quicker rate, and that just helps keep the family, in it, involved. And also, like I said, it helps everyone across the board. So that would be a way to incorporate your family.
Fire. What else you got, man? Yeah, man. We here for y'all. Oh,
okay.
Well, if you would have told us, you would have went before he did. Queens first.
That's part of my issue.
What is it?
It's the feedback. It's the feedback.
Turn that mic off. I don't want nothing blowing up in here.
You might just, this would be, is it on? Is it green?
No, you good. Just ask the question. Okay. Thank you, Jesus.
My question is about content, right? Creating content for social media. So what advice would you give someone like myself that hates TV? That's why I held my question for so long. Because I didn't want to ask, all eyes on me type of thing. So same thing with content. Even if it's just like I place my phone on my desk and I'm like, all right, say something legal and post it. And then once I start, I'm like, oh God. And I just can't. I just keep continue to work. So my issue is just even doing it. It's kind of like I get, I don't know, too shy or something.
Get shy.
Yeah.
I would say, like Nike, just do it. I would say just do it, but I would say have a plan. So if you just turn on the camera and you're not prepared, I would probably kind of shy back a little bit too. But let's say maybe something to kind of get you really into the zone or to move, maybe actually write down. If you want to share something about law, okay, maybe you want to say, here are 3 things to do to, I don't know, avoid getting sued or something whoever you're speaking to, and then have those things written down, and maybe practice before you even turn on the camera. So that's something that you can do, practice before, so that when you do turn on the camera, you kind of have an idea what you're going to talk about, you know what you're going to say, you feel a little more comfortable, and you may do a few takes. How many of us may do a few takes before we actually post the content, right? Yeah.
I'm a perfectionist.
So
I'll do the same video 100 times.
Right, facts.
You may not get it right to the 5th time, you may not get it right to the 10th time, and that's fine. Especially if you're just getting your feet wet, making the content. I would say have the plan, write it down, what you want to do, what you want to talk about, practice a little bit, turn on the camera, and just do it. If you mess up, okay, we stop and you do it again. Yeah. So something I would say is a little hard, I had to get used to doing lives. So that's a big leap for a lot of people, right? Because there's no rewind. Once you're on, you're live, you mess up, right? So I would say just start out with just the regular video content, the recording. That way you can kind of change, you can edit, you see what you want to keep, and then start building up to those lives, because the lives is what really connects you more with the audience as well, because they see you face to face. They can ask you questions, they can kind of connect with you a little more. So that's definitely a way to kind of build your exposure to your brand. But definitely just do it, just do a few takes and see what's best, and then just run with it. That's what I would say. Yeah. You got this though. You got this.
My advice is the complete opposite. Get a brand ambassador. and call it a day. Listen, most of us, if you went to college, even in high school, we had internships, right? Go get an intern from a school and that's law school, right? Get an intern and literally have them create content for you. You might be able to build a relationship where you keep them long term and they can be your brand ambassador, or you can find somebody else, because everybody realistically doesn't want to be in front of the camera, and that doesn't mean that you can't create content. Like, it's very possible, and in reality, like, again, a CEO of Walmart, they may only show their face on like advertisements and stuff like that, like for a 10-year anniversary and make a special announcement or something. Other than that, they have other people in place to actually do the content for them. So like, don't allow yourself to not move forward with content because you don't want to be on camera. Like, okay, what's the next plan? Like, okay, am I just gonna have somebody else, on camera? And that's okay, because if they're a part of your team, then they're still a reflection or an extension of you and your brand and your business.
So I would say like what Shameen and Wilda said, you have two options. You can be the face or you can hire a face. You have those two options. When I first got into business, I had a brand ambassador. I had many influencers and celebrities that used to promote myself, and it blew the business up just based off of that. But now I'm the face of my own brand, my own business. And one thing I'll say is like, I really feel your pain, because I used to be the same way. I'm a perfectionist, so I'll keep looking at the videos, keep watching over and over again, trying to get it right. I don't like it, I'm not satisfied. But I came to a point, I remember meeting Will, right? He had this little challenge, like, get in front of the camera and just state your name and what you do. You remember that? So I did that for 7 days. The more I did, I got confident that I finally posted my first video, and it did like 4,000 views, like immediately. And now it just helped me build that confidence. The more you do it, the more confident you're gonna be. Now it's like almost a year and a half later, and I was able to do over 5 million views as of today. So I'm telling you guys, you gotta just don't be a perfectionist. Now what I do, I don't even look at my videos after I create it. I just create it one time and I post it. I don't even look back. I don't look back because I know I'm gonna judge it. I'm gonna want to keep doing it over and over again. So just trust that you gave the people value, because a lot of people, most of the time, they're coming for the energy. Sometimes it don't matter what you say. It's just you gotta have that energy. But that's what I'm gonna say.
Let me ask you this. What do you want in life? What do you want in life? Like, what do you want to do? Like in general, like you want to take vacations and.
Yes, like freedom to be able to take my kids.
So always understand this. Always say to yourself, if I don't do this video, my penalty is we don't take this vacation. You gotta penalize yourself, right? And then one thing that I would say too that my mentor ET told me, he said, done is better than perfect when perfect isn't done. If you never get started, nobody will find you.
Just drop the mic.
And always understand that you have knowledge that people need, right? So what I would do, like Shaneen talked about, is that market research. Figure out the top questions that people are asking in your industry, and just bring it. You don't have to do 3 tips. You can do 1 tip, and you can end up like, once you build up the tips, now you can go to like a live, Legal Thursdays, where I'm gonna spend 10 minutes and just give you extra game on this particular topic. Content is like a gym. If you don't consistently work it out, you're never gonna see results.
And I just want to add one more thing. I was trash in the beginning, let me tell you guys. I still ain't even that good now. I still ain't sweet. Let me tell you guys, I be saying like 100 times. And people don't even pay attention to that. They're more worried about the energy, the value. I'm there to help. I'm there to really give you guys what I know. That's what they're more concerned with. And I promise you, I said like 100 times. And most of my content, you go back my videos, you go start noticing my mess up. So let me tell you guys, I mess up all the time. But I don't even look at my content. I just create that one time and I post it. But the more I do it, the more I do it, the more I get better. Like Will just said, it's like the gym. The more you work out, the more your muscles gonna get bigger, right? The more healthier you're gonna become. It's just like that. It's like a muscle. So you gotta consistently keep doing it.
I'm trying to get like Charles, man. What's the next question? What we got?
I'll let him go real quick.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I just did months since I heard my voice on the mic. My question is more, I guess, leaning towards a service compared to an actual product. because my business, Historical Studies, is actually based on writing. So like doing like different writing services for people and for content. So what advice would you have for a writing service compared to an actual product?
Right there.
Definitely need to connect. What specific writing service? Give me an example.
Some of them that I do are website copywriting, poetry,
Right, I'm about to
spoken word,
tap
comic
in.
writing. I do essays every once in a while for people, but
Just that first one. Hold on. Just that first one. You be making bread. Oh my gosh. So many people. That's what a lot of people struggle with. They struggle with. They have like the video. They have the picture. They just don't really know the words to put to it. Just like I was talking about earlier, the importance of like headlines and the things you write. So you can package that in a service, like in the content. Give people ideas. Like okay. You find a business, like just pick a random business like that you would possibly service and give them examples of like maybe a headline that they can use to kind of get more attention or give them like examples of how you would word something. It doesn't have to be long, you can write a whole paragraph, but give them like maybe like what I did earlier, like would you say this, blah blah blah, or does it sound better if you say this? And then you can show examples if you have previous clients. You can show examples of maybe some results that they got as well. I think the content that you can put out is like, it's really endless. Like you can show proof of if you actually had clients before, or are you still building it?
I actually launched the website last month, the end of September, and I have got one review on the actual Facebook page from someone who asked me to do resume writing for him.
So yeah, you can show different tips as well, like things that you should never put on a resume. Like you can show different examples like that, like try to touch on some of the pain points. So issues like sometimes people, they just don't want to write the resume, so they need help with that. Maybe there's things that you put on your resume that you think is cute, that you think is good, but it's not. Like highlight some of the issues that people might have. I think those are the perfect content to put out because then people can like resonate with that and they can see like, oh well, maybe you'll be able to help me. So we can network you some more ideas, but I would definitely say those are some things that you should definitely do.
Wow, my friend, we have got to talk. Listen, I love Done For You services on 100%. Like, it's a game changer. So I love Etsy, right? And Etsy showed me that whatever you thought didn't exist, exists. Mm-hmm. So I've literally, when I was in the credit repair space, like heavier, like I literally purchased Instagram posts dedicated to credit repair. And it would be like 10 days worth of content, 30 days worth of content. So literally all I would have to do is plug in certain words, but it would be probably like 250, words worth of Instagram post. And because they knew the right words to, to touch the pain points and the emotions of the customer, it actually served its purpose. Like, and even if it wasn't the Instagram post, like the caption itself, they have like the pictures that you can just go ahead and plug in. And so there's definitely a need for Done For You services. So like she said, if you choose an industry, like you wanted to do hair, like there are people that are on Etsy selling like 1,000 Instagram posts, like captions, or Done For You sales email posts. Like, I know, I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. Scripts, yeah. Thank you. So email scripts and stuff like that. So someone like me, like I'm still setting up email on the back end so that way, everything is automated. And so what putting those type of things on Etsy does is allows you to have it automated. So you create it at one time and it can serve multiple people. They can kind of plug and play. And then you know that you're generating sales even without having to advertise it or having to go back and do more. So those are like its own set of stuff outside of you advertising on Facebook or Instagram and stuff like that. So I hope that helps.
So I like what both Shanine and Wilda said, right? So as a service-based business, you want to have digital products. For sure, you want to have digital products. Let me tell you guys, there was a point in my life where I was hopping on calls, I was doing consultations all the time. I literally had sit there, I was getting burned out. it was a lot. I had to sit down and say, hey, like everybody keep asking me the same exact thing. They want to learn the same thing. So let me make a guide and make a digital product that they can just buy. They follow the instructions. They can do it themselves. I'll have a video showing you step by step how to do it. I'll even model how to do it so you cannot miss it. All you gotta do is just literally like, if you know how to click a mouse, you can get it done. Like you want to make people's life easier, right? And with digital products, you can scale, right? You just consistently gotta bring awareness to these products so you can sell it. So if I'm a copywriter, I might do something like Wilder said. I might create like 1,000 Instagram posts, 1,000 on Facebook posts, and maybe not 1,000. That's overdoing it. But
Yeah.
I might
Yeah,
let me be
that's
more
too much.
realistic. I might give you 20. I might give you I might do a monthly continuity program, like a monthly subscription. You pay me $100 per month. You get like 30 Instagram posts, 30 Facebook posts, and all you gotta do, you gotta pay $100 per month. You get all of that for that subscription, right? And have a whole bunch of people come in and subscribe and pay that monthly fee. Another thing you can do is like, I always say as a service-based business, you should have a do-it-yourself service, you should have a do-it-with-you service, and you should have a done-with-you service, done-for-you service, like what Wilder said. A do-it-yourself service might be, I might sell them like a book full of copywriting, like that you can literally just plug things in. You just have to plug it in, go buy the book, go buy the thing, but you do it yourself. A done with you service might be, I might teach you how to write persuasive copy that generates consistent sales. So I might turn that into a course. I might do a consultation, right? I might give you the list, I might do that consultation, but that's gonna be a little bit more money. The do it yourself might be cheaper. You might be able to get that for $17. Some of y'all who are here probably bought my Net 30 list, right? I create that real fast. Go ahead and follow my instructions, do it yourself. That also have the course. If you want the course, you can get that too. I'm gonna do it with you. I'm gonna walk you through it. I'm gonna give you the guide. I'm gonna show you step by step. Or you have the option of, I can come into business. I can actually do it for you. Me and my team could get it done for you. But that's gonna be a lot. That's gonna be high ticket. It's gonna be more money. So you gotta look at it like a ladder, right? The do it yourself is gonna be cheap. The do it with you is gonna be like mid tier. It's gonna be a little bit more expensive, and the do it for you is gonna be more money. It's gonna be very expensive. Let me tell you guys. There are copywriters out here making like $25K per month. Easy. If you're somebody like me, I'm a numbers guy. I don't like writing. I hate writing. I literally use software to help me like create all my copywriting for my emails, my website, and everything I got going on to help me like write. Cause I'll literally spend like 20 hours trying to write one paragraph. I promise you.
Facts.
There's a lot of people out there like that. So you need to have that do it yourself. That done with you, then done for you.
That's good. That's good.
Let me touch on this. When you go on Canva, what's the number one thing people look for? Templates. Creating templates, right? Like you said, the resumes, the Instagram posts, the how to do your own copyright. Like it's great. Like I said, digital product, and you have a really great gift right there.
Amazing. You don't even know, like.
Right there. 'Cause I get annoyed by writing.
Me too.
I do. Like I get annoyed by it, right? Like you said, like I get services that can do it for me, right? Send out email templates and it's already there for me. I just gotta change names and boom, boom, boom. I'm done. I'm sending it out, right? Shout out Will for that, because Will put me on for that some years ago.
I need that.
But it made life so much easier. So your type of gift makes life easier for everyone, especially entrepreneurs, right? You have time. We trying to scale our businesses. And your gift helps entrepreneurs do it, and especially with the copywriting part, man. That's
game changer.
We were just talking about that not too long ago, right?
The struggle's real, man. The struggle's real.
End up not posting something because you don't got a caption.
Look, wifey trying to figure out a caption. Look, right there, boom. Trying to figure out a caption. It works, right? People, like you have something that people need, right? And that's a business. Creating something that people need. So. Brother, touch
on the pain points.
Pain points. You know what I'm saying?
That's our pain. We hate writing copy.
Hate it.
That's a quick thing you could touch on. Do you hate writing paragraphs?
No, for real.
Are you somebody who rather just go about your day and just speak, maybe be on video? You can literally just turn somebody's video into copywriting. You can help them do that.
Oh, yeah.
Like one of the things I've done, it probably would have took you like 10 minutes. For my sales funnel, I spent the time writing the copy on my sales page, but it took me like 2 weeks to do it. But for the video, it took me like 5 minutes. It was easy for me. But for me to really write down those paragraphs, if I would have had that copywriter, I would have got it out more quicker, and I would have been able to make a lot more money. So it's definitely a need, though. Let me tell you. that's something you definitely need to get out there to the people.
I wish you put that question when we was on the Zoom. All of them hands would have went up like, hey, we need you.
Are you on Clubhouse?
Not yet. I actually was supposed to create an account yesterday, but I actually had a family issue I had to take care of.
Okay.
Divine timing.
So I would definitely say you could probably create a Clubhouse account, because there's a lot of people that might need your services. For example, they host a room and they're talking about a topic, they may want notes to be able to send out to those people that were in the room. Sometimes they sell their notes, so I'm sure they would gladly pay you. Sometimes I've had someone hit me up, they were like, they want to make an ebook based on the room that they were in. So they had a note taker take the notes, and then they just needed my assistance with like making sure it all, figuring out how to actually get it to the ebook format. So that's a thing that they can do as well. Just kind of like try to provide, don't try to do every type of service now. Figure out like what type of service you really feel like you want to do, and then build on that, and then make sure, as we said, you're doing your market research and you're reaching out to those specific people. But that's just another idea. Clubhouse, it's just audio. So people, hey, just like how he said transcribe a video, you transcribe the audio. So yeah.
Anybody else got a question before we move on?
I think he had a question.
Okay. So, how much?
We got him for an extra hour. Okay. Right, we got you for one more hour, right? Not hour, like 37, 30 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. So, to answer, just to say this for everybody, right? There's an octopus, there's a shark, right? It's the best way I can put it. But the octopus, people in business, they end up doing too much, right? Where your focus goes, your energy flows, right? So you want to be able to be in a position to be a shark, laser lock focus. Because my mentor E says, it's hard to give 100% to 100 things. You'll never get it done. But if you give 100% to one thing, you complete it, now you move on to the thing. The problem with most business owners is they get so much information, they're trying to complete 50% here, 20% here, and now you're overwhelmed and you're burnt out. No, that's not the way we do it, right? You say, I'm gonna finish this ebook, and let me say this to y'all, right? If it doesn't have a date on it, it's not real.
Say it again.
If it doesn't have a date, it's not real. So if you say you're gonna put this, you're gonna finish this ebook in 2 weeks, put the date. Don't just say 2 weeks, just say January 1st, 2022, the ebook will be done. It's not date, it's not real, but yeah, go ahead, man.
I got a question for all of you. I have a question for all of you. What are the top 10 apps, or let's say, I'll call them apps, that you would recommend to us?
Tell you so
For what? Which way you want to go? What first?
Based on content creation, usefulness, things that we can use to automate.
Well, me and my bro, he used ClickFunnels to create the pages and the funnels. I use Katra. They're both good platforms. ClickFunnels, I would say, is more better though for funnels. But we try to look for platforms that have all-in-one. So that way when we pay the subscription, we don't have to go buy, 30 here, 30 there, 30 there. So I would say for a page, you want to create a page, Katra, ClickFunnels, or Samcart. Easy. And with Samcart and Katra and ClickFunnels, you can literally create a page in like a day and have it up and running and start getting those sales in. So that's what I would say.
I'll say, like, with ClickFunnels, if you know how to click a mouse and scroll around and drag things, in Katra as well, you can create a website. That's how user-friendly it is. So you can create a page. It's just a matter of learning how to, like, structure that page. Like, and that's why you might need a copywriter. Like, when I make my pages, I have a foundation to it. It's strategic. Like, the first section of my page, like 50% of the page, is gonna be based on emotion, right? You got 3 types of people. You got the emotional, you got the logical people, and then you have the people that only buy things when it's last minute. You have those type of people, right? So 50% of your sales is gonna come from emotional people. So I'll create a video that's gonna reach those emotional people, and 50% of the sales copy is gonna be focused on touching on a story, right? If I'm selling you a guide to business funding, I'm gonna tell you how I struggled when I used all my money in my business, and then how I found the solution. And for the logical people, under that, I'll have something like this, right? I'll show you everything you get with the guide. So if you're still sketchy about it, the logical people are gonna be asking questions. I'll say something like this: not only are you getting my guide, you're gonna get my business starter masterclass. You're gonna get my 7 steps to turn your side hustle into a business. You're also gonna get my business funding preparation guide. You're also gonna get a consultation with me. So law school people, and I'm gonna tell you the value. Oh, this is all this together is worth like $2,000, and you're only gonna get it for $200. The law school people are gonna be like, yo, oh my God, that's a deal. Might as well grab it. I get all these things, right? And then you have those people who only get it last minute. At the end of it, you gotta let them know, like, hey, you know, if you don't grab this right now, this deal's gonna go away by the end of the day. So you wanna hurry up and go ahead and click the button right here, click the link below, go and grab the thing, and then that's how you convert sales with those pages. But other than that, I use ClickFunnels. I told you guys about Twilio and Simple Text for text messaging, Mailchimp for email marketing. You use active
I'm trying
campaign.
to get into it, but I can't.
Canva, I use Canva a lot. Like people overlook that. You see a lot of my posts on my Instagram, like my carousels and my Twitter posts. I use Canva to create those. I use Canva to create flyers saying we're going live. I literally just use Canva a lot. That's another one. And another one I use a lot. I use Splice. It's a video editing software on my phone. So I use Splice for my video editing. So if I want to chop things up, make videos, add my own music to the videos, to my content, I use Splice. It's very user friendly, very easy to use. If I want to like take one of the things I do, this is gem too. So when I post Instagram Reels, what I would do is I will save the video. Sometimes it'll take the audio away from you if it's on Instagram, right? I'll save the video before I post it, and I'll save it after. And then after I save it, I'll take the video that has like the Instagram watermark on it, and I'll extract the audio and put it on the video that doesn't have it. So that's one of the things I do. So I have that content, I have that audio. I can post on YouTube Shorts, TikTok. I can post on Facebook Reels and Instagram without having any logos on it. So that's one of the things I use. So I use Splice for that. And for my actual video editor, I use a very, it's not extra, it's not like Final Cut Pro. I use Filmora. So when I'm editing ads, I do a little bit of video editing. I edit on my own ads. So when I edit ads, I use Filmora Pro. That's one of the things I use. But I don't recommend you do that if you don't have no experience with video editing. Just hire that out.
Okay, so I'll probably give you like 3. If you don't have a website already, I recommend Shopify. I feel like it's very user friendly. And you know, if you're familiar with Fashion Nova uses Shopify actually. And you know, Fashion Nova has they give out 50 text messages a freaking day, but it works. So I love Shopify, and I feel like it's important to have a website. Even when it comes to business credit and business funding, you want to have a website because they're going to ask you for one just to see that you're really professional and that you're operating legitimately. So if you don't already have a website, I would recommend Shopify. I enjoy looking at the analytics and stuff like that. So that also helps you to see like what people are clicking on, what, you know, how long they're staying on that specific item. So let's say if they're like on there for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, that means they're interested. So if they don't convert, now you need to figure out, okay, well, why are they not converting? Is it because of my copy? You know, maybe like my copy is not touching their pain point, and that's why they're not purchasing. Not that they don't want the item, but being able to see those analytics is actually going to help you in the long run. And then, like I said, for me, email marketing, I love Klaviyo because they have the email and text message marketing, and you can start off free up to a certain amount of contacts. And so that was favorable for me. I looked on my phone, and I would say that another thing that I use that I actually really love is Calendly. Calendly is good. That's for Calendly, Calendly.
Yeah, if you have a service-based business, you need that.
Yeah, that's to like basically book appointments. So, you know, tell them click the link in the bio for your consultations, and then you can have a free or paid options for them. So like I have 2. Like, so if I want to send a link out to somebody individually, I can send them the free one or the paid one, depending on like if I gave them an incentive for free, like, okay, I'll just give you a free consultation and then do that. So you can really use that to organize yourself and to have structure so you're not just like, you know, all over the place with your business. So that organization is really super important. And then I would also say, like Phil said, Canva for sure for content creation is definitely phenomenal. And I think Shani mentioned some apps earlier for being able to schedule your posts. I think Facebook Business Suite is actually pretty good. And then I used to use Later as well. And those are the ones that I would recommend for now. And then I would say have your payment processor have an app for that too, because you can send out invoices like this. So.
Calendly is a go-to. Calendly.
Yeah, he told me about Calendly.
When remember we booked something on Calendly, remember? And what I love about Calendly, it also, it was nice, right? Like easy, swift, beautiful, right? And it connects to your Google Calendar. I would advise to get Google Calendar.
Absolutely.
Right, synchronize all your meetings. So if you have Calendly and you have bookings, right, it connects to your Google Calendar. Pop it up on your phone. You can see everything for the month, everything. Makes it so smooth. Meanwhile, we have people debating because she likes the Office Suite. What is it? The Microsoft one. No, but what's the mail one they have? Whatever it is. G Suite. Not G Suite.
No, 360, Microsoft 365. So
Yeah, something like that. Outlook. There we go. Outlook. And I just felt that Google Calendar was just so much smoother. So much smoother. Especially paired up with Calendly. So definitely Calendly. I love to create, and people who have seen my reels, like I'm like a goofy with it. Like I love to create. So I like to use CapCut. Like CapCut is one really good one to create reels and making videos. CAP and then cut. Okay, CapCut. Another one I like to create is Beatly. That was a newer one. I kind of enjoy messing with that one, right? Mashing up videos and stuff like that. And remember when we did at the park with the teens, and I mashed that. That was off there. And one of Phil's favorites, QuickBooks. One of my favorites too.
And it tracks your miles.
It tracks everything, right? Like so, and you have access to it. You don't have to wait till you go home. You can actually take a picture of your receipts on QuickBooks, and it'll log it in and categorize it in there, right? It just makes it so much convenient. So, as an entrepreneur, watch the finances, right? Where your money is going for your business. You got to start making smart decisions, and QuickBooks allows you to see all that.
It's for receipts for like shopping, going to gas station.
Anything business-wise. Go ahead. I'm gonna have Phil. Phil's the guru of that.
Yeah. So with QuickBooks, man, I've been using that for like 5 years, man. Like I need an affiliate link. Because I recommend, yo, QuickBooks, if you watch this, you come across this video, I need an affiliate link. Because at the end of the day, with QuickBooks, it helps you track all your business mileage automatically. Like you just have it running on your phone, all your business miles will be tracked for every location you go to. You can categorize if it's a personal trip or it's a business trip. And for every mile you drive as a business owner, that's like about 56 cents per mile you can write off on your taxes. Another thing, QuickBooks, you can use QuickBooks for like bookkeeping. You use it for bookkeeping, so that's what he's talking about. You're keeping track of all your expenses so you can maximize your tax deductions. And QuickBooks, like I had a year, like literally, like where I kept my books so clean because of QuickBooks that I had to pay little to no taxes because of my money I kept reinvesting into my business. So it's very good to keep track of everything you do, and that's what QuickBooks will help you do. And it automatically helps you generate reports. Before I tell you guys, how many of you guys know how to use Excel? Oh, y'all special, because I don't know. I struggle with Excel, right? So it helps you to generate reports on Excel automatically, like profit and loss statements. These are statements that some banks will ask you before they even give you things if you're as a business. Like I remember going to get a vehicle about 2-3 years ago, and one of the things they asked me for was like a profit and loss statement for 6 months. So all I had to do was go to QuickBooks and it automatically generate that report for me. So that's why QuickBooks is definitely a great app for business owners. Like y'all need to get on it. You need that, for sure. But that's all I gotta say about that.
Did they take all your apps? They took all my apps. I ain't got no apps.
I got a good one too.
So I would say InShot is good.
InShot is a good one.
That's the best video app you can use on your phone. Fire.
I don't have that. Let me download it.
IN and then shot, like blah blah blah. Yeah. So InShot, it's It's amazing. Like you can add like blank screens, like for dramatic effects, write text. You can add transitions on the video. You can add music to the video, like little, instrumentals in the background, or your own, like, let's say you're artist, your own songs. It's amazing. I love it in Shop. So I definitely recommend.
Quick, do you use Premiere Pro or anything like that?
That's too advanced for me.
Yeah, you got to be more on the computer, I feel, with Premiere Pro,
Yeah.
because I messed around with it, right? But like these are some handheld stuff, like literally from your phone. Especially InShot's a great one.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
So I use Lightroom.
Lightroom,
Adobe.
yeah,
Lightroom is good for
Lightroom.
pictures.
For pictures,
For
yeah.
pictures, Lightroom is good.
Okay, so also I would say mini chats. My virtual assistant actually use that. So it's kind of like, you know how you'll be like, message me the word help me if you want blah, blah, blah. And then you have like a generic message I'll send out to every person that messaged you. That way, if it's like a new course or something, or if you're trying to make them sign up for your consultation or your new program, whatever it is, you can have automated like messages with ManyChat, and you can connect it to your Instagram. So if someone texts you the 2 words that you told them to text you on a video or whatnot, they'll automatically send them, whatever message you want them to get, and they'll send it to each person that sends it to you. So that's something that you can use as well. Zoho. I just got on Zoho. I don't know if y'all know about Zoho.
I don't know about
Zoho
Zoho.
is amazing. They got Zoho for everything. Zoho invoice, Zoho sign. First of all, I'm a service-based business, so sometimes I have to give them contracts. So what I love about Zoho sign is you can literally make your contract on Word, and you save it as a PDF, right? You upload it on Zoho, and it basically, you can send it to yourself first, right? Because you'll need 2 signatures, or whoever you're sending it out to. You go in on Zoho, you upload the PDF, and then after that, they'll take you to where you can literally just drag like what you want. Like you leave a blank line on those lines in the contract. You could drag what you want it to. So for example, if you want the client to put their full name, there's an option where you just drag it. They need to put their full name once they get this contract in their email. You want them to sign, you drag it, this is where the signature needs to go. You want them to add like a number or dates, you drag it, and this is where it goes. So now it sends it to you first, because you need to sign it too, so it'll ask for my signature. So while I'm fixing the document, they'll send it to me. I literally plug and play everything. I put my name and my signature. It's all done digitally. And then once I finish, it sends it to the client, right? But you can have it where it's sent to the client first, but I have it to where it was sent to me. So that's something easy where it's not like, you gotta wait for the client to print out the contract, and they gotta put their actual signature. It's like, it saves me so much time, and then it's like, literally just drag and drop, and then it sends it out, and then it sends it back to me, and then on the site, it'll have like all the completed ones, the ones that are in process, the ones that people haven't viewed, the ones that they viewed, they turned in, or got recalled. So Zoho is amazing. I just found out about that, and I was like, oh my gosh, this made my life so much easier. So Zoho, they have everything for, I don't know how they're able to operate and not charge people, but everything is like free. I read they have like a little message on how they can do it, but I was like, whatever, I'm glad it's free. But the invoice one is good as well. You can literally create invoices, and they save the customer's names and information for you. And then also with the Zoho invoice, it shows you like it's like a pie chart. So it shows you like, this is the amount of expenses that you use, this is, how much money you came in, it tells you the account receivables, it tells you all this information. So it's similar to QuickBooks a little bit, but it's more so good like if the payments are coming in like through invoice. So I know with QuickBooks you can track like, when you swipe your card and different stuff, but that's like perfect for me, for my clients, because that's what, that's where I send them the contract, I send them the payments, and they send it through there. So I love that it shows me a pie chart. So I would say, yeah, my top 3, Zoho, I just got on that, Zoho everything. Zoho, ManyChats, and then InShot. Yeah.
You said
ManyChat, so M-I, that's small.
I have one more app. It's not even an app, guys. It's just a payment processor, I suppose, called Sezzle. I highly recommend, as a business owner, that you have Sezzle, Sezzle. It's really good because, especially if you have high-ticket items, let's say you charge $500, I got photographers here, a photo shoot, right? You can literally have them pay in installments, so that way you get all your money up front. Probably take like a day or 2 to process, but you'll get all your money up front, and the client can pay in installments, which adds to conversions because they don't have to pay that full $500 up front, and they can still shoot with you. And it's not like you have to worry about, oh, well, are they gonna pay me? Because you already got all the money from the company, and the company takes the liability if they don't pay, and they'll take them to court if need be, or sue them, or put it on their credit report, whatever that might be. But you, on the other hand, as the business owner, you get your money, you get to do the shoot or whatever it is that you do, you have nothing to worry about. Sezzle is my favorite, but Sezzle, it is like specific by company. So there's also QuadPay, because QuadPay, that customer can use QuadPay like anywhere basically, and they get a digital card. And then there's also Klarna and Afterpay, for example. So anything like that where you can do 4 payments, I highly recommend for clients.
I'm gonna need a list of all.
Got you.
Yeah, so
Go create
we're
an
gonna
ebook.
come with a close. I'm sorry, I know you got a lot of questions, but we are gonna be ending, and we just want to thank everybody for rocking with us for sure. We appreciate you all, and we just hope, man, you take the information and implement it. Like that's a big thing for me. Like I don't care about money, I care more about results. Are you gonna take the information, take action, and see those changes in your life? That lets me know what we did here today was worth it. But if all y'all came just to take notes and y'all ain't do nothing with it, I just wasted my time. Let me tell you guys. So make sure y'all go out there, implement the information, and go take your businesses to the next level and stay connected. And before we leave, like Will's gonna do a prayer. He's gonna pray this out.
All right.
Pastor Will.
Congregation stand. Stand if you don't want to.
Everybody can stand up.
Man. Okay. Heavenly Father, I thank you for every single business owner here. I pray, Father God, that you multiply their businesses like 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Father God, I thank you for their life, their family. And Father God, I pray that by the time they leave this facility, that they will have wisdom and give them the ability to execute at a higher level than what they did before. I also pray that you give them an increase in confidence to let them know that they are made in your image and likeness, and that they can do all things through Christ who strengthens them. So Father God, I pray 5, 6 figures, 7 figures, Father God. Now, Father God, let the money catch up to them, Father God. But Lord, I thank you for my team. I thank you for Shanine, Wilda, Charles, Phil. I thank God for them, and I pray that you continue to bless their lives and bless their family, bless their ministries. And Father God, you will always get the glory and the honor for everything. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Hey, you don't want to do like hands in like 9 to 5 CEOs at the end of the video? No?
So what's going on, guys? Majority of businesses fail within the first year, but before I continue, I want y'all to know we are the
9 to 5
CEOs. And let me tell you guys, man, like would you like to learn how to create irresistible content, turn your side hustle to a legitimate business, and get access to over $20,000 in funding? Like we are revealing all the secrets, all the mistakes we made, we are giving it away at this one event. All you have to do, if you want to join, you want to click the link below, and you'll be able to join, register your seats, secure your spot. We are coming to you soon. Stay blessed. Cut.
All right.